I'm not quite sure why I'm here or what I'm doing, but there's a reason. I don't like Facebook, and I don't like the internet. The library blocked my password. Now tell me, does that make any sense to you?
This is absolutely lit. This is lit.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dark Times with Dark Match Steve. Come on in, get comfortable, get vulnerable. I'm going to take advantage of you physically, mentally, emotionally. But you will be better after it's all said and done. Maybe not actually, but welcome. What do we get into tonight? Oh, let's see here. I got to read my caption and refresh my memory. The top 4 worst actors of the Charlie Kirk attack. It's also celebrating Charlie Kirk's birthday. Happy birthday, Charlie Kirk. Wow. He was born in 93. How old would he be today? I don't have time to do math like that. Let's get to the chat. Say hello to everybody getting in here. So there's 4 people we need to take a look at tonight. I have 3 of their names. One of them is a random fucking crisis actor. I don't know if people have found him, and it's a lot harder to find this video, but I got it saved somewhere. We'll get to it. But yeah, we got a few people to take a look at. Now, I've been telling you guys I wanted to catch up on some of the Charlie Kirk weird shit, and today was his birthday, so of course I figured why not today? We'll catch up on some of this stuff. I got a bunch of other shit to get to this week, and a bunch of stuff to get to, actually. I'm hoping there's nothing too crazy that happens in the news that I have to cover, because I've got my streams are booked for the week, okay? So hopefully, hopefully someone in the IDF is watching right now. Please, can you guys keep the terror attacks to a bare minimum? If you have a school shooting planned for later this week or something, can you please wait until next week? Because I've got stuff that I need to cover here. Thank you. You know we support Israel here, guys. Please hold off on the false flags and stuff. All right, let me get to the chat. Say hello to everybody. We'll get started here. Got a lot to get to. Not going to be on super late. And you know what that means. We're going to be here 3 hours, guys. So let's get to it. All right, I'm in the chat. I'm deep in the chat. I'm fully erect and penetrating the chat at the moment. I'm in here. I'm scanning what you guys are saying. All right, Michael Earl, sir, welcome. Funny Faces up in here. Kenny Powers, lover, welcome. What's up, guys? Thanks for joining us. Yeah, so I know, listen, guys, I get it. A lot of people probably, it's I get it. We're over the Charlie Kirk stuff, and not because we don't like Charlie Kirk and miss him, but it's just like the fat pig says, I got to tell him when he, give him, I'm not going to say flowers anymore. Bubba's trying to make that a thing, and it's not a thing, okay? I'm totally against that phrase. I like the smell in myself. I like that one. That one, that gets a pass from DMS. I got to give the fat pig his credit. Who the fuck cares? On this one level, I agree with him. Well, let me get the chat up, actually. There you go. You guys are up on the screen now as soon as you start talking. No, but it's like we can't fucking do anything. What are we going to do? What am I going to do? I don't know. The thing is, it is like a weird thing. Like, why invest so much in trying to know the truth or whatever? I mean, what you just, I feel like the thing is, you never really know, like, granted, we don't know what conspiracy to believe, what angle, what theory on the bullet trajectory and all that. We don't know what to believe, okay? But I think it is important, if not just for knowing your past to protect yourself in the future or whatever the fuck. I don't know exactly. I feel like if nothing else, it might be in terms of what action we can take based on whatever knowledge we stumble onto on the stream or looking around on the internet. It's sort of like, I get where that's like hard to grasp, where you could, trying to figure out the reason, the point of actually investigating into it or investing time into trying to figure it out. But if nothing else, I mean, you guys know I was critical of Charlie Kirk, but I just hope you guys, even if you felt a little bit helpless or something, if anybody cared that I got my head blown off or something because I said the wrong thing, I hope you guys would also, even though you wouldn't know what to do with the information or something, I hope you would at least care about what actually happened. If you thought there was some fuckery afoot, and this is the Charlie Kirk shooting is the red flag factory. Okay, so anyway, I think if nothing else, because we lost someone important too soon, I think for at least that reasoning, it's worth at least trying to understand what happened. We probably will never get to the truth, but either way, yeah. Don Ferguson said, let me finish, say hello to everybody. We'll get started here. Johnny Z's up in here. Thank you guys for joining us. Fat Pig Lovers in here. Wub, wub, wub. Jeff Cron's in here. Jeff Cron likes the intro songs. Yeah, in case you guys didn't know, I don't know how many people have like come and gone as my regulars and stuff, but I make my own royalty-free tracks too. I do a lot of this from the ground up. The stream here, I made all those royalty-free tracks that I put in rotation for intro songs. I made all of those myself a few years ago, actually. Am I missing anybody? Did I skip over? Dutch Duke, did I say hey to you? OOG7's up in here. What's up, lover? Thumb this twink in a non-gay way or in a gay way. I don't care. Give me that thumb. However you want to use your thumb during this stream, I am ready and lubed up for it. Welcome, welcome. Steve Jackson in here. You should do a song with Samson. Who's Samson? That's a parody guy. Is that I feel like I have seen this guy's stuff. That name sounds familiar. I don't know who is Samson that you're referring to. Is this the guy that Scott Starbird? I know Scott was talking about me collabing with some other parody artist during his stream. I think it was yesterday's stream. All right, so let's get started here. Where should we start? Who should we start with? Okay, so I got this pulled up here. Okay. Let me get my Twitter up and get rid of this. I'll bring you guys over to the gram. Because like I said, this one guy, the guy that we're going to start out with is, I'm not aware of his name. I don't think I've seen his name anywhere. Like I forgot it or something. I don't know if people know who this guy is. But fuck. Instagram pisses me off, man. Instagram does really funny stuff with the DMs. Okay, what's going on here? Hold on 1 second, guys. What? That one. Where'd that other video go? I just had it. Okay, so this is the guy with the red shirt. I know I have one video here. This is the guy with the red shirt that got interviewed after Charlie Kirk got shot, unfortunately. That's not. Oh, god damn it, Instagram. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. So there's multiple. There was you guys remember there was a bunch of people that were around filming, and even just like random people getting interviewed after after Charlie Kirk got taken out. A lot of them, well, at least the ones going viral are going viral because of how fucking sketchy it is. This guy with the red shirt. Oh, I know what my problem is, guys. I'm sorry. The video I wanted, I have saved here. This is what I was telling you guys. It's hard to find this clip, and when I search for it on, let me get you guys. I have to get you guys over to Facebook. Here we go. Okay, so this video, I searched for it on Twitter, and I could not find it. I don't know what's up with Twitter, but I feel like sometimes things are intentionally hard to find there. But anyway, let me drop this for a second. I don't want to show you everything that I have saved in my DM here, but this is the guy. Here we go. It's on, I got two here. This, okay, here we go. Here we go. It'll take us here. All right. I'll go down here. So this is the guy. Now just watch this. This looks a little weird. And I remember seeing this guy's interview back when, all of this shit was going down. Back originally when this happened. I remember seeing this guy's interview, but I didn't there was just so many different things to see. It was hard to know what to fucking overanalyze and whatever. But listen to this guy here. Okay, would help if that had sound. Let's see if we can get sound. Fucking bullshit.
Charlie Kirk gets shot. He collapsed in his seat. He fell over to the side. He was carried off. He had blood on his arms. He had blood on his shirt. He was dragged off and carried out of the venue.
So yes, we got the top 4 worst actors of the Charlie Kirk shooting. This is number 4. Coming in at number 4 is this fucking twink.
There was a gunshot that rang out.
You okay?
I'm not okay. I saw someone get shot today.
Yeah, question.
I saw.
So this, especially looking back at this now, this looks fucking fake. This looks fucking fake. Not AI kind of fake. This is a bad actor kind of fake. The fake heavy breathing, the fake tone in his voice. I don't know where they find these people. But this is this is the kind of thing where it's like it's good enough if you're not paying attention. That's the thing. If you're just an idiot and you're just scrolling around and oh my God, Charlie Kirk got shot. Here's someone that was right there. Oh my God, that's crazy. But it's, it's a bad actor when you actually just stop and you're like, hey, wait, is this possible this person is acting? And then you go, oh, wait, yeah, this does look completely unconvincing and fucking stupid. Wow.
Charlie Kirk gets shot. He collapsed in his seat. He fell over to the side. He was carried off. He had blood on his arms. He had blood on his shirt. He was dragged off and carried out of the venue. There was a gunshot that rang out.
You okay?
No, I'm not okay. I saw someone get shot today.
Yeah, question.
I saw.
Okay, so let me drop this for a second. That's contestant number 1. DMS is a paid actor. I am, but I admit as such. I've got the hat on, okay? I'm admitting to you guys that's what I'm doing. These people are pretending they're not. I'm in character. I'm an actor. I'm in character as a gay man with autism, okay? Hopefully that helps the algorithm. I'm completely honest with you people while simultaneously lying. Okay. So then we'll go over to the gram, because that's where, so I'm sorry I have this stuff all over the place. It's a little disorganized, but this is the problem, is this shit is hard to find. Okay. If I could have the videos all in one spot, which is what I try to do most nights, this would be a lot smoother. But here we go. So over on the gram, then we've got this video. So here's a different angle. So like I said, I remember watching that video go around, and I guess within the first 3 days, I wasn't suspicious of I thought something funny happened. You guys know from day one, I was saying there's something funny going on. I don't believe this is like an organic political attack, whatever. And, but I wasn't overanalyzing the audience members, people from the crowd, people that got interviewed after having watched, I was paying attention to what some people were saying about where the shot came from and stuff like that. And it was more like trying to put together, but it's now it's very funny. Now, a lot of people are looking back and just with a fine tooth comb now and really trying to see just in whole what seems off, because people started to get this idea that maybe this was planned and there was some kind of group in the audience. We had 2 different patsies that got, one of them did get arrested. They at least both got detained. I don't know if both were arrested per se, but 2 different patsies for over 24 hours. They thought it was somebody else. And then, 33 hours later, guys, they had the right patsy. So it just made everybody look at everything a little differently. Here is a different angle of this same interview, okay? Tell me why this fucking video exists. And I know I can't blow this up big enough because it's Instagram. Fucking zoom in yourself here, please. You have to watch this because this is weird. So this is the same guy right here, okay? And he's talking to the camera here, and then we're going to talk about this gentleman standing right here because he is number 3 of the top 4 worst actors of the Charlie Kirk assassination. So pay attention here.
Scam. 2, 3.
This person goes, here's more proof this is all a complete scam. Then the camera lady counts down. 1, 2, we'll counts up. 1, 2, 3. Okay, go.
I saw Charlie Kirk get shot.
Here you can see the older guy with the phone is a director, and he's making sure that everything goes according to plan.
He collapsed in his seat. He fell over to the side. He was carried off. He had blood on his arms. He had blood on his shirt.
They're doing different takes to make sure that it was good and make sure that it seems sincere.
Shot that rang out.
You okay?
No, I'm not okay. I saw someone get shot today. I saw Charlie Kirk get shot. He collapsed in his seat. He fell over to the side. He was carried off. He had blood on his arms. He had blood on his shirt. He was dragged off and carried out of the venue. There was a gunshot that rang out.
You okay?
Here's more proof that all this shit was a complete sham.
2, 3.
I saw Charlie.
Bro, I mean, just look. I mean, guys, I don't know who's going to stumble across this video, but can we just, I get it if you're not a conspiracy person and you're tired of talking about this and whatever. I get that. But can we not just all be real here and talk about how this is weird, right? This lady counts down. She counts to 3, and then the guy immediately goes into fucking character like, I saw Charlie Kirk get shot. And it's like, it seems acted. This doesn't even, like, it's not really super convincing. Like I said, if you're just not paying attention, you might just go, oh yeah, whatever. Especially though, now we have this angle. We have a second angle of it. If you don't think from this angle that it's a little weird, I mean, we live in 2 different worlds. And then I'll show you who this guy is. And the fact that he's standing right here seems to be like reading something off of his phone I mean, he's just standing here. This is at UVU minutes after Charlie Kirk is shot. All of the 90% of the people ran away. And then we've got random people standing around doing interviews.
Charlie Kirk get shot.
Here you can see the older guy with the phone is a director, and he's making sure that everything goes according to plan.
He collapsed in his seat. He fell over to the side. He was carried off. He had blood on his arms. He had blood on his shirt.
They're doing different takes to make sure that it was good and make sure that it seemed sincere.
Gunshot that rang out.
You okay?
No, I'm not okay. I saw somebody get shot today. Yeah. I saw.
Okay, so in this clip, the person who posted this is saying that they're doing multiple takes. Now, if we're being, and I'm trying to be 100% real here, even though I do have a bias towards thinking something extremely fucking off is going on here. But anyway, I don't see multiple takes. If we're being real, it does not look like they're actually, that was one take filmed from 2 different angles. But let me show you who this guy is. So this old guy that they said is the director here, this man's name is Phil Lyman, okay? This guy got interviewed by Alex Jones, which we might have the time to take a look at. This guy got interviewed by Alex Jones and was like, yeah, I was there. Oh my God. Like Charlie Kirk was my friend. I was there, da-da-da-da. Let's see what his attitude in this fucking video. Then let's compare when he's talking to Alex Jones and when he's talking to some random person there and he's like smiling and giggling about Charlie Kirk getting shot. Oops, I just spoiled it. But yeah, that's what's in the clip. That's what's coming up. So hold on. So I'm going to have to take you over to, let me see. I think this is on Twitter. Okay, let me see. Hold on. This might actually be a better clip here. Oh, this is a longer video. Okay, here we go. So this is the guy, Phil Lyman, here with this kid. Let me see if they show the countdown and stuff, and then if they do another take.
1, 2, 3.
I saw Charlie Kirk get shot.
1, 2, 3.
I saw Charlie Kirk get shot. He collapsed in his seat. He fell over to the side. He was carried off. He had blood on his arms. He had blood on his shirt. He was dragged off and carried out of the venue. There was a gunshot that rang out.
You okay?
No, I'm not okay. I saw somebody get shot today. Yeah. I saw Charlie Kirk.
Okay, so the funny thing too, guys, is that this is the Americans comeback. This shirt is the same. I don't know if they were giving out these shirts, the American comeback. That was my that's my name in the gay clubs. That's what they call me, is the American comeback. I see Birds in the chat. What's up, lover? Welcome. So this guy's blowing my edge session. Sorry. So it does look like this guy's reading off. Let's play the rest of this and see if they show whatever. But the fact that she goes, okay, 1, 2, 3, and he just like he goes right into character.
Get shot. He collapsed in his seat. He fell over to the side. He was carried off. He had blood on his arms. He had blood on his shirt. He was dragged off and carried out of the venue. There was a gunshot that rang out.
You okay?
I'm not okay. I saw someone get shot today.
Yeah, dumb question.
Did you guys see what happened?
Yes, I saw him. What's it called? Are you recording?
Dude, yeah. Okay, this is what I was talking about. These guys have the same shirt.
Yes, you're live right now. Well, we're recording. I don't know if we're live because of the cell service.
Is that the same guy? Wait, is that? I know these other guys come up in the group. And the guys that come up and shut this dude up, they're all in the same group. And they have matching shirts.
Hang on.
In probably the third. Okay. I was standing from probably the third row in the bottom. I heard the shot ring out. I looked to my left, and then I looked over to my right. I saw him slump over in his chair forward. He slumped over.
Hold on. Oh, he doesn't have the hat on. Maybe this is the same guy. Is this the same guy? I think it is. He just doesn't have the hat on in the other. This is the same guy. Are you recording?
Did you guys see what happened?
Yes, I saw him. What's it called? Are you recording this?
Yes.
This is the same guy. It's the same bag and everything. He just didn't have the hat on in the other one.
So you're live right now. Well, we're recording. I don't know if we're live because of the cell service. Hang on.
I was standing in probably the third. Okay. I was standing from probably the third row in the bottom. I heard the shot ring out. I looked to my left, and then I looked over to my right. I saw him slump over in his chair forward. He slumped over. He had blood coming from the left side of his neck down his shirt, and he slumped over and he was carried off. Get off me! Get off me!
Bro, what the fuck is going on? What the fuck is this? This is what happens every time, guys. I think I know what I'm showing you guys, and then as I'm watching it, I just like the wheels start turning.
Running high right now.
The American comeback. Yeah. Hey guys, I'm the American comeback. Okay, so let me show you this guy, this kid, for some reason. Look at Phil Lyman. So let me pull this video up. I do have a few of these, and let's see. So this is the same guy that was standing next to him here. Check this guy out. Check this fucking sketchy motherfucker out. This fucking rat tooth. I don't even want to say. Look at this.
We are outside the student life wall inside.
Did you guys see what happened?
How are you?
Did you see what happened, Phil?
No.
You were there too.
Oh yeah, it's interesting because I was there. I was a witness to everything that happened. I was talking to Charlie just before he took the stage, and I was in very, very close proximity.
Did you guys see what happened?
How are you?
Did you see what happened, Phil?
No.
Why is guys, like, can we all be real? It is not conspiratorial and like fucking paranoid or weird for your creep alarm to go off on this guy. This guy has got, we got to pull up this Alex Jones interview because I want to see what he says. I dare this fucking rat tooth motherfucker to pretend like he was heartbroken by it. Someone who claims, oh, I was just speaking to Charlie Kirk just before he went out to the killing tent. I dare this motherfucker to pretend to be sad about it in that Alex Jones interview. This is at UVU minutes after Charlie Kirk got killed. They're like, hey, did you see what happened? He's like, no. With his fucking rat teeth.
No.
Charlie was a friend of mine.
No.
Kenny, that's exactly what everyone's been. His name is Lyman. His last name is Lyman. That's what these people's names and stuff are like, you know, symbolism and shit like that. Rachel Handler.
We know one thing, Charlie Kirk died.
I was pretty.
It's ironic, Alex. This happens to be the 12th year anniversary of my indictment.
Okay, we are going to find that interview. This guy gets a kick out of assassinations. I don't know. I think he just came in his pants when they asked him if he saw Charlie Kirk bleed to death. It's really kind of weird. I don't know if it makes me crazy to point out that it's weird that someone's giggling about their friend getting their head nearly blown off their body. Is that weird for me to think that their reaction is like disgustingly callous? Am I the crazy one? Or is everybody else, is your brains working? Do you have like no social skills at all that you can't tell this is weird? And it just happens to be the same guy who is standing next to the kid who is going around telling everybody about what happened to Charlie Kirk in these interviews. Let me get to the next thing here. So I think I had a third video, and I'm going to look up this Phil Lyman, Alex Jones deal because that is bonkers. Fucking rat tooth. Um, 4234. So let's look this up. This is on Life is Driving. So let me find the full version of this because I want to see exactly what happened just before and how they just transitioned to something else after giggling about his friend getting killed. Just curious how that goes. So okay, hold on, guys. I'm doing some raw footage. Okay. Ooh, did I find it? I think I did. Okay, so here we go. Let me get you guys over to the YouTube. We'll take a look at where Phil Lyman comes in here. It was about over here. It's over halfway. There's the kid. Okay, here we go. So this is the same cameraman that got, dude, this is so crazy. Look at, so 4140. This is the same cameraman that gets this kid on footage who was already interviewed by somebody else. This is the same fucking guy. Hold on. Let me just see if he, oh no, that was a chick in the one, that was a chick recording him in the one thing. So it's not going to be the same cameraman. Okay, 41, what? Okay. Let's go here. How does this cameraman know who Phil Lyman is? Who is that? Is that someone? Is he, let me look up who this is. I don't know if this guy is part of the government there or what. I forget who this guy is. Former Utah state representative. So it's not crazy to think someone might know who that is on campus and they're not with him, right? When this cameraman talks to him and he says, "Phil, what did you see what happened?" The fact that he knows his name isn't significant, really. I'm gonna hit this bowl, guys. It's that kind of night. Holy cow. Dude, this reaction by Phil Lyman actually looks like, do you guys ever, like when you were in fucking high school or middle school or something, you guys remember getting caught doing something fucked up and you get caught so bad that you just like, it's a little secret and you have deniability and you try to like, you can't help but smile because it's so funny how the thing you did was fucked up and you're like, you guys know what I'm talking about when you're in school and like a teacher or the principal is confronting you about something that you did and it's like, it's so bad and they caught you and they're on your trail and it just makes you like giggle or smile, smirk a little bit. This is exactly the reaction Phil Lyman has here.
Terrifying and sad what this has come to. Two protests in a row have been shootings at, but it's absolutely ridiculous.
Literally everyone on this campus except for Phil Lyman is shaken by this. Phil Lyman is just like giggling. He thinks it's funny. He thinks he's going to be the new host at the TPUSA. He's going to host the Charlie Kirk channel now. Phil Lyman and Erika Kirk are going to start a TPUSA OnlyFans channel.
Hello? Yeah. Hi, guys. Dad, we are outside the student life wall inside.
Yeah, we're gonna take off, but
There's people running again? Are you sure? They escorted us this way.
From some of the kids.
Dude, look, if Phil is fucking telling this kid it went through his neck, I don't think he's going to make it. Kenny laughing at me. What did I say? I need to pull more clips from the stream, guys. Sometimes I got some good clips, and I need to do some clipping. I'm going to do that this weekend. I'm going to get some clipping. Where was it last week we were talking about? And people actually told me in the chat, you got to clip that, dude. The fuck are we? Oh, yeah. It was actually related to this. It was the TPUSA guys flat out denying that Charlie Kirk had any kind of issues with a certain country. You guys remember that? That's what we were looking at. Total clown show. And then Candace Owens. It's you know what? Let me just say, if you are a person who just you think you're on top of the world and Candace Owens leaking text messages just rocks your whole world, it brings you down. You know you're not living life the right way. If Candace Owens can just like destroy you with one screenshot worth of text messages and show that you're a complete lying piece of shit, you just know you're fucking up in life. Don't get busted by Candace Owens. That's pathetic.
We're right there. I'm running. There are a bunch of cops. Yes, the cops are showing up. Yeah. Yes. The cops are showing up. Are you sure people are? Yeah, they're pushing everybody out. You guys see what happened? How are you? Did you see what happened, Phil? No. I was pretty.
I talked to right.
Well, I gotta go find something.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go walk that way.
Yeah. The cops might tell you to go the other way than
I got my vote.
You definitely have
Oh my God. Ugh. You got my vote. Gross. Bro, what is going on? This is scary. How does someone ask this guy about okay, hold on. We've seen this. We saw the full context of it. There's nothing else to gain from this footage. Let's make sure they don't actually get more out of him. No, we would have seen it.
it
So
is.
he walks away.
With you, my
He
boyfriend.
giggles about Charlie Kirk getting shot, and then he just walks away. And he was just the person before the cameraman asked him. Phil Lyman was talking to that like half black kid and was for sure telling him where the bullet went in his neck. That's not even debatable. He was going, yeah, right here, and picking at his neck, like, yeah, here, yeah, and picking at the skin. And then he told someone else he didn't see what happened.
Do you want to say hi?
I do follow you, and I wrote you in.
He's right here.
With your last name. With your last name. It was that. Yeah. Absolutely following that. So,
Hi.
yes, thank you.
Hey, how are you? We wrote you in. She's a fan.
Thank you so much. Better circumstances, Phil. Yeah, I'd be glad to talk to you about what I do know. Okay. You guys see what happened? Oh, sure.
Yeah, so that's out. That's it for Phil Lyman. Let's see if I can find this. If the full deal is on Twitter. Let me see. Oh fuck, look at this. Shit. I got you guys on that. So here's a video of Phil talking to this kid. I was not even looking for this. I was looking for something else. Hold on. Is this actually what I think is happening? Hold on here.
I just left. I'd gone up top. I was right by the back into this building and I was walking through the door and it's like boom, boom, right behind me.
There was one shot that I heard one shot.
I just left. I'd gone up top. I was right by the back into this building and I was walking through the door and it's like boom, boom, right behind me.
There was one shot that I heard one shot.
I just left. I'd gone up top. I was right by.
Here, let me do this. Let me see if I can find. I got to be careful. I mean, there is stuff I'm saving for later. I don't want you guys to see, but with Twitter, I have to be extra careful because they'll just slap some tits and ass up here without giving your boy any warning. Or wait, it wasn't Alex Jones. It was Steve Bannon. Guys, am I fucking crazy? Am I stupid? Did I really? I was not paying attention. It was Steve Bannon. I'm so stupid. All right, here we go. Let me get you guys here. This is it.
That's the side of the Republican Party that needs to go. Yeah, Steve, I think you said this morning that they're part of the dying Republican Party. That's the side of the Republican Party that needs to go away because they're not Republicans and they don't have our values. And I'll tell you one thing that, I was there on Wednesday. I spoke to Charlie in advance of that, and he brings the party with him. And it was a party. I mean, he's throwing hats, and these kids, they look to Charlie so much. Turns out they don't like being lied to any more than the rest of us do. And when they see things that happen that don't add up, it's hard to fool these kids. They've got their cameras. They're watching these things happen. So I went up top, the back of the venue, right when the gunshot happened. Now, I don't know if it was a gunshot. I don't even know what all of that was at this point. But the thing I noticed is that there were some people, while everyone was hiding behind the retaining walls and ducking down and, wondering what's going to come next, there were a group of kids who were not hiding. And it was kind of the LGBTQ. I walked right over and I said, and I heard one of them, utter a real nasty epithet, not to Charlie Kirk, or not to Charlie Kirk, but to the crowd that's running away, go F yourselves type of thing. And I said, was that gunshot not right here? And they said, yeah, it was right over there. The point being, they weren't afraid. They knew.
Dude, this guy is so sketchy. I don't fucking trust this guy for one fucking second. This guy is like scary sketchy. What was so funny? I just seriously want to know what was so funny about someone asking him if he saw Charlie Kirk get shot. I'm really, my mind is boggled here. I'm really trying to figure it out. I can't put my finger on it. I just don't know.
Something. They knew something that the rest of the people in that crowd didn't know. They were not afraid. If the gunshot was right over there, if the gunshot was right behind them, why are they not hitting the ground? Why are they not running? Why are they not concerned for their lives?
Hold it.
I was afraid it was going to turn into a mass shooting. So I'm out there looking, where is this coming from?
Hang on. Slow down. I want to hit rewind. And we're going to keep here for a few minutes. We've got Alex DeGrasse coming up the next hour. No. So you went, because you're a big supporter of Charlie, you know him. You went actually to Utah Valley University that day to either see Charlie and to kind of see him.
Big supporter of Charlie. Guys, I'm a Charlie Kirk viewer. I was not a big supporter of Charlie. I was a big critic of Charlie. And if I went to UVU and Charlie Kirk got murdered within like a few feet of me, I don't know what kind of reality we'd have to live in that I would giggle about it. And I was a critic. There's no way someone would come up to me and ask me, did you see what happened to Charlie Kirk? And I would smirk and actually audibly giggle. I'm just like, I don't know. Is this like, really the question here is his actions, do his actions speak to some kind of guilt or involvement in this? Or is that how politicians are, that they really, once you're in a position of power as a politician, that you don't care about constituents' lives? You start to understand that they're all just numbers and stuff. And when they get fucking murdered, you're just like, I can still get their vote. We'll just, we'll mail that ballot to my house. I'll fill it out for him. Like, what's so funny? What is so funny?
Look, it was what 3,000, 4,000 folks. It's a big crowd. You went,
And now he's all like, "Oh yeah, this is this is a big deal, Steve Bannon. Yes, I was there. This is very serious, the political violence. In fact, I think it was the trans people. Yeah, it was those gay kids at the Charlie Kirk event. They did it."
Down there.
Right.
So talk to me about beforehand as you get there. Take your time. Before the shooting, before anything like that, was it the typical kind of Charlie at the university? Because I think it started noon.
He can't help but smile about it. What is funny? What is there to smile about? What is there to smile about? Scott Starbird, that's exactly what I'm saying. Lyman was either in on it or he's a complete sociopath, fucking maniac. How dare you pretend that you're a Charlie Kirk supporter and you're giggling when someone asked you if you saw what happened? Creepy, funny face. Yes, guys, I hope you're not just agreeing with me, right? Everybody, this is a organic, genuine consensus we're forming here. Like, does anybody actually, can you say that in a non-trolling real way that this is like okay or normal behavior? Everyone was fucking crying and stuff, in shock. Yeah, that's Kenny says, I'm going with sociopath. Dude, you know what? There isn't enough here to say that this guy was in on it or something. I hope you guys don't think that I'm trying to like literally give that impression or do dog whistles like, oh, he's laughing, so he did it. Or so. That is not what I'm saying. I'm just saying this is all weird shit that's been accumulating that I've been saving because I'm like, this is just fucking weird. Butter Knives is in here. What's up, family? I'm seriously and genuinely, that shit would be frightening, and the consequences of it is terrible. But for some people, that thrill gives them a little chuckle. I think that's what it is, Butter Knives. People like Phil Lyman get a little chuckle out of this. It's the adrenaline rush. Someone make it make sense.
Shot at 12:23. I think it started a few minutes late, but the first part was just Charlie being Charlie, throwing the hats out in the thing and getting the kids all jacked up to ask some questions.
Yeah. So I went back, was invited again. These turning point chapters are amazing, and I happen to have a really good rapport with a lot of those students. They said, "Hey, come down. We want you to be here. We want you to meet Charlie." So I went back with them, and that was till about 12. About 5 minutes after 12. I was talking to him right up until then. Said, "Thanks for coming to Utah." So I walked up there with him, and all these kids, and his security detail, and he's throwing out hats, and I'm just watching and thinking, this is a magical time and a happy time. These kids are excited. He's blowing kisses to the protesters because there were some of them that were yelling epitaphs at him, and I thought this is a really important
epitaphs. Guys, they were, oh my God. Is that a Freudian slip? Epitaphs. Guys, please tell me you guys know the difference between an epithet and an epitaph. Do you guys know what an epitaph is? That's what is on your gravestone. He had a Freudian slip here. Phrase or form of words written in memory of a person who has died, especially as an inscription on a tombstone. That is epitaph. He was thinking epithet, right? That's like curse words. Epithets? Yeah. Is that what it is? Epithets? Anyway, he said epitaph. That's the point. I don't use that word because I don't know the other word. I know epitaph, though, and that means that's what's written on your gravestone. That's a Freudian slip there. I'm going to count that as a Freudian slip. Bob D's in here. Lover, sir, welcome. Wait, were you in here earlier? I once had an endoscopy. That's what the protesters were yelling at Charlie Kirk was endoscopies. Okay.
Individual in the lives of these kids, and he's changing lives. And this is an exciting time. We're witnessing these changes. And so I stayed right there until the questions started coming. And then I thought, well, I want to get some of my friends who are still en route, meet them, get them down here so maybe they can shake Charlie's hand, say hello to him after he's done. So I went back to the far end of the eastern end of the amphitheater there, which is layered up. So I was up at the top. So that's kind of what happened up until that point. It's funny because I was standing there next to a young man. He was a handicapped individual, and he said, "Hey, do you know Charlie Kirk?" And I said, "I do." And he said, "Can you get me a hat?" And I said, "I can." And right about that time, Charlie was coming, and he was chucking hats, and thousands of people screaming, and I just raised my hand and said, "Hey, Charlie, over here." And he looked over. And I think he looked at me like, what, you want me to throw you a hat? And I pointed, and when he saw the individual, he was almost to throw the hat. And when he saw the individual, he stopped and he came over and he handed it to him with the biggest smile on his face. And I just thought, that's a class act. That's a good person. And anyone that is around Charlie Kirk, you feel it. You feel like that's a good person.
Brilliant. Man, F this guy. Yeah, I'm over this guy. That's what I'm saying. This is truly the top 4 worst actors. Actor number 4, in theory, here. We are going to take a look at, what's his name? Kozak? All right, let me pull this next guy up. This should still have this saved here. So this is the gentleman. People are speculating about the guys, and this has kind of been from the beginning, guys. You can remember that people all were like, it's too weird that the guy that was talking to Charlie Kirk was asking him a question about gun violence when Charlie Kirk got shot. People just thought that was too weird, and it is. It not saying it's completely improbable or something, but it's just fucking weird. So people have found clips of this guy. His name is Hunter Kozak. I knew it was Kozak. Hunter Kozak is this other guy's name, the one that was talking to the last person to speak to Charlie Kirk. And people have gone back and found clips of him earlier during this event. He's just in the crowd, And here, let me show you this clip. People are speculating that this guy rehearsed his reaction because he's doing the same thing. And when Charlie Kirk got hit with a bullet, this guy, he's standing, right there within a few feet, and he goes, oh, like that. And here, before Charlie Kirk gets hit, he's doing the same expression to somebody else that's in the crowd. He's like talking to somebody and does this same expression. And he is actually, I'll try to find it here, he has actually come out with a response because people have taken note of this and been sharing this video around. This guy actually had to come out and make a public statement. Bro, I'll put it this way. This doesn't mean he's guilty of anything, but I would not want to be this guy. I mean, that's really the universe fucking hates you. If you were the person to watch Charlie Kirk get hit, and now people are speculating that you're an actor because you're out there doing these weird hand movements. How can you deny the validity of this clip when you have this background music? I don't even think that's it. I'm sold. Let me just play this on repeat like 5 times till you guys believe it. And that's when Kirk actually gets hit. He puts his hands up and all that. Dude, it's fucking weird. And again, it's like all of this is just, it's all too fucking bizarre. And there's like no way to get to the bottom of any of it. There's just 1,000 different problems and weird.
Kozak beef.
Here we go. Let's see what this bitch has to say. Oh, fuck, yeah. So his father, that's what this was. This guy's father, the guy who was talking to Charlie Kirk last before Kirk got killed, his father allegedly works for Jimmy Kimmel. Steve Kozak. Let me look that. Hold on a second. Let me verify that. I already told you, so I'll have to just say, I take it back. Yeah, Steve Kozak. I'm a producer for Jimmy Kimmel Live. Wait. Oh, yeah. No, dude, that's actually his. Hold on a second. They definitely have the same last name. Is this actually... Sorry, I'm on another tab here. Because I'm looking at... Fuck. Bro, I think this is real. But is that actually his dad? Oh, dude, I think it is. He kind of looks like him. All right, so hold on. If this is the guy, should I bring you guys on this tab with me? Kenny, you fucking crack me up, bro. Oh, fuck. Scott Starboard's telling you some story about someone almost dying in a fire. Phil Lyman would crack up at that story. Oh, fuck, man. That is funny. That is very funny. Okay. Diego Luna. No, that, well, welcome to the channel, first and foremost. I think that's a new name. Welcome, welcome, and thanks for getting in the chat, taking part. So he said, would that make Hunter a Nepo baby? What's that? Is that when the Illuminati uses their kids as patsies? Apparently, I guess the new Nepo babies, they're all crisis actors. They're playing more like, you know, it's like reality TV, the next level. It used to be, you know, real actors got really, really popular and stuff. And then it went to, you know, reality TV shows. We had the Jersey Shore retards and all of the different reality TV shows. And those people were really popular. Now, the people that the industry are pushing are actual crisis actors. And it's like reality TV, but on a fucking diabolical level, pretty much. I think that's what they're doing now. I support it. So this is actually Steve Kozak is the producer. I'm not 100%. I can show you guys. Let me just show you. Hold on. Is this even the same guy? If this is him, is his face okay? Does that not kind of look like this guy? That looks like what his father could look like, right? Let me bring up a picture of Hunter. Hold on. This has got to be his kid. So there's this guy. Here's ugly fuck father. And then ugly fuck son. Can't you see that? Don't they look a little bit similar? Don't they both look like they're fucking cursed with the same terrible genes? Dude, that's his dad. That is his dad. No one can tell me otherwise. I won't believe you. All right, let me drop this for. Let's do that. Where were we going? Okay, so yeah, let's take a look. So there's his response video and stuff. Yeah, let me get you guys back over on. I left you on that tab. Let me get you back over to the Twitter. Is this the first? Hold on. Okay, this is a. Let's see what the.
Steve Kozak, the father of Hunter Kozak, has been working for Jimmy Kimmel for years. What are the chances that Hunter Kozak asks Charlie Kirk a very ironic question right before Charlie Kirk's life is taken in front of a live audience full of thousands of people? Jimmy Kimmel then gets brought into this by the media simultaneously dogpiling on him and making him the scapegoat because of his monologue, and then it turns out that one of the higher-ups at Jimmy Kimmel's show is the father of the last person.
Oh, they're together right there. We wasted our time looking into it ourselves. This person already did all the work. That goes to show you I should just steal content and not try to do anything original. Just play other people's videos.
Speak to Charlie Kirk. Steve Kozak, the father.
Wow, guys, that is actually... Dude, you know what? Now I'm full schizo on this. And I'm not going back. There is no way. Guys, there is no way. Hold the fuck up. There is no way that Jimmy Kimmel's producer's son is the last person to talk to Charlie Kirk, and then Jimmy Kimmel gets canceled for speaking about Charlie Kirk. Didn't even say anything that crazy. He just got canceled for speculating that the shooter may have been a part of the MAGA movement. This is fucking too crazy to even I'm not even going to consider it a possibility that there's not something weird going on here. I'm not even going to entertain that. That's too fucking weird. It's just too much. Here, let's
We had one of these. We had a mandatory, regularly scheduled all-staff HR meeting on Zoom. They did it on Zoom.
Okay, I'm not going to play this because Jimmy Kimmel hits me hard with the kizapi riz I viz I liz a shizuns with the kiz riz. We're not going to play this.
I do this bit where if someone says something really uninteresting but says it like it's interesting, I act shocked and surprised to them. I'm like, whoa, you're telling me this for the first time? In line, the person behind me said something really stupid, and I looked over to the person in front of me and was like, well, look at this fucking idiot. Whoa. And suddenly that's me practicing for being surprised. Look, whatever. I live a very public life because I'm not a very anxious person. I'm not a very paranoid person. I do this bit where if someone says something really uninteresting, but says it like it's interesting, I act shocked and surprised to them. I'm like, whoa, you're telling me this for the first time? In line, the person behind me said something really stupid, and I looked over to the person in front of me and was like, well, look at this fucking idiot. Whoa.
Likely story. OG7, why are you fighting with... Who are you fighting with, Diego, in here? Hey, quit. Come on. Let's all try to get along. I need people in this chat. I'm a streamer. I need chatters. What's Diego talking about? Hold on. To make any sense of it, I'll theorize that the realm of families... that are politically active and the potentially that small, that the kid would do this. But I don't believe it too fishy. I think he evil, maybe. Yeah, so you said to make sense of, yeah, you're saying for this to be not like a complete anomaly, right? You're saying statistically you're making sense of the possibility that this just happened to happen like that. I know what you're saying. No, so you're saying because it's Jimmy, it's not just like, oh, randomly, if you just ran the numbers, the fact that Jimmy Kimmel, who doesn't like Charlie Kirk, his son or his producer's son would happen to be there when da-da-da-da-da. It's like, it sounds like it's ridiculously crazy, improbable, but if you just consider it's like, okay, well, it's Jimmy Kimmel's producer. His producer's probably political, which it might even raise the likelihood that his son is political, and then that raises the likelihood that he would be at a Charlie Kirk thing. But then, dude, for it to be the person talking to him when he got taken out, I think is just like completely, I don't know. That's like almost completely ridiculous, improbable. Actually, Andy Milonakis is related to Jimmy Kimmel. Yeah, well, Andy Milonakis wasn't talking to Charlie Kirk when he got shot. Bro, I don't fucking know. It's weird, man. This is weird. Hold on. Where is the one? Here, let me do this real quick, guys, because I got to check. I got to look at something on Twitter here. I don't want my D pics popping up for you guys. I'm saving that for desperate times. Let me see. Is it? Oh. Hold on. Let me see if, well, I guess I'll show you guys this post just to show you what this other person put in the caption. These are not my words. Actually, I might not read this whole thing, but it says, update revealed. The man talking to Charlie Kirk at the moment he was shot was a religious person named Hunter Kozak, inserting yet another odd religious angle into this narrative. Okay, so let's take a look at this interview. This is on YouTube. Yeah, it's on YouTube. Okay. Let's find this video. Spectrum, I paid my fucking bill. You better stop throttling my shit. Last person. Okay. Well, I guess this is 19 minutes. So there's other MSM stuff. There's a Fox. Hold on. Yeah, Fox. The Charlie Report. Trevor Jackson TV. So let's watch this 19-minute one because that will give us the most context out of all these seemingly.
Took a while for sure. I was driving away.
Hold on. What did he start with? God damn it. Give me the goddamn scroller.
You were the last person to talk to him?
Okay.
Took a while for sure. I was driving away. My wife and her sister and her mom were on campus and they found us and they drove away, and she turned to me and she said, you know you're gonna be on every news station in America tomorrow.
All right, guys. So the last person to have debated with Charlie Kirk before he was shot just gave an interview. In this interview, he described how the entire incident played out while he was standing as close as he was to Charlie. Let's watch.
So my name is Hunter. I was in the middle of debating Charlie Kirk in the middle of the assassination at Utah Valley University.
Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years?
Counting or not counting gang violence?
Great.
What brought you to the event that day?
I make videos on Charlie.
Man, one thing I will also say, and again, guys, I'm not ready to if we're being realistic here, I'm not ready to just say like, oh, this guy was in on it because of the way he reacted or something. But it is interesting, to me at least, to note how he doesn't get down, right? He grabs his head, and it looks like this, just about the same thing that he does in that clip beforehand, where people are theorizing he's rehearsing, or like, there's maybe someone. The way that looks to me, if he is referencing what he's about to do, it almost looks like there's like, there's other people there that knows what's going to happen. It seems like that without this clip, but then to me, that almost looks like him and someone else that are at the front know what's about to happen, and he's referencing it. He's like, they're standing up at the front. They don't like Charlie Kirk, and they know what's about to happen, and they go, he's about to get his, that right there is how you say to your friend who also knows, like, oh my God, I'm excited. He's about to get his fucking head blown off, and this is what I'm going to do. That's like, it looks like that. And okay, we're doing a lot of speculating and whatever. Again, I'm not saying that this is like wholeheartedly what I believe here, but it looks too fucking weird to not talk about.
Charlie Kirk and I made this video about the statistical analysis on trans shooters. And sort of the point that I was trying to make was that it's sort of a statistical outlier, that they're extremely underrepresented when it comes to how peaceful they are. Obviously, that question, pretty ironic given when it was given. Yeah, so I mostly came in there because Charlie's very open about having some sort of dialogue or some sort of conversation that he believes in engaging, and I'm pretty on the record of how much I disagree with him, but I do definitely respect how much he's willing to platform voices to ensure that at least some semblance of a good conversation can come out of it.
Mm-hmm. And as far as these like statistical anomaly thing when it comes to trans shooters,
oh, this fucking guy. How does this guy get all the good interviews now? Is this guy Illuminati now? He's talking to Hunter Biden. He's talking to Charlie Kirk actors.
Is that in response to the way that him and Turning Point were framing that as like a big issue?
So it was about 3 weeks ago. There was a trans shooter at a Catholic church. Charlie made a bunch of tweets basically saying, like, when are we going to start noticing that this is a trend? And I'm like, okay, well, I'm getting my math degree at UVU. That was my university. And I was like, there's an answer to that. There's, we can determine if there's some sort of outliers. We can use p-values, things like that. And I was like, according to the data, it really doesn't pan out that there is a trend here at all. So I kind of made a video calling him out a little bit and saying,
okay, I'd be interested to see this guy's video, because the only not only, the first thing that comes to mind that could like disprove this, I imagine that he would argue like, oh, well, if you look at all of the shooters, all of the mass shooters and school shooters and whatever that have happened over whatever amount, the past 5 years, 10 years, whatever amount of time, you would find that, oh, well, there's actually like way more cisgender white males or whatever. But I don't know if the math actually, I'd be interested to see this guy's video, if the math actually maths, because it would have to be such an insane amount of cisgendered shooters, right? I mean, how could, what percentage? I think what some of these the conservatives are arguing with the Trizans shooter, numbers, probabilities, and percentages or whatever. I think part of what they argue, if it's one of them that has actually thought a little about it, is that it's not just that it's a trend that you were seeing in the media because the media are showing us these certain ones and whatever or something, or social media. It's that the trans population is such a tiny percentage that I get the feeling that the fact that the trans population is so small in the United States, it seems like you shouldn't even be able to like manufacture a trend by just showing us, or the trans shooters being, exclusively shown or made viral more. Like, it seems like there's such a small percentage that there should only be like maybe one or something every couple years of a trans person that doesn't act like a terrible violent act like this. It seems like you shouldn't, you know what I'm saying? It seems like something that's such a small percentage that it shouldn't even be able to manufacture it by just exclusively talking about those ones. There shouldn't even be enough to do that. It feels like, I don't know. He only kind of made a video. Yeah. Wait, what? A bunch of these groups are all gonna butt heads this weekend, allegedly? What are you talking about, Icy Bird? Is there some event? What are you referring to? Looking like the same playbook from pre-Niz Ozzy times that gave rise to Niz Ozzy's. Professor of Trig of Crisis Actors, yes. I mathematically formulate the best script for a crisis actor. I'm a professional. Huge protests happening. Oh, yeah? Shit. Yeah, no, Diego, that's what they say. I don't know if it's just... I'm not that. I know some people probably think I've just got my head buried in terrible things, looking up terrible things. Like I've got time to just be a revisionist when it comes to World War II. I don't. But that's what you're hearing people talk about now a lot. And Nick Fuentes has made a lot of public statements. I know his one clip of him went viral from what's her name, Pearly Things or whatever the fuck that woman. It looks like her head is a toe with like a Barbie wig on it. that pearly thing, the clip with her, he's talking about how that's the book burnings that are always referred to. And I remember this in school. When the teachers were telling us, the history teachers would tell us about the book burnings in Germany by that regime. And I don't, the impression they gave you is just like, oh, they're burning all of this knowledge to keep a bunch of knowledge secret from people. And this is, I don't even remember them ever telling us what kind of books were they burning. They just kind of painted it like, oh, they burned books that were just stuff that was pro-Jewish or something like that. That's the impression they gave you. But now it seems like a trending thing. A lot of people are talking about that is the books they were burning were actually, LGBTQ trans type of stuff, and that doctor was doing the first trans surgeries in Germany and shit like that. And but yeah, I have not looked into all that. I just I've been seeing that shit go around. I don't know if that's just schizo revisionist stuff or if that's for real. Wait, is this okay?
Hey, I want to come debate you. I want to come do it. And a lot of people were kind of encouraging me.
So let me see. Hold on a second. What was this clip from? Where's his videos he makes? Where's he posting them? Twitter? TikTok, probably. This guy looks like a TikTok kind of retard.
And I was like, according to the data, it really doesn't pan out that there is a trend here at all. So I
don't see a TikTok handle anywhere. Maybe this is Instagram or something.
I kind of made a video calling him out a little bit and saying, hey, I want to come debate you. I want to come do it. And a lot of people were kind of encouraging me. So I kind of wanted to come and have my, I guess my little audience see that.
Mm-hmm. How was the energy whenever you arrived to the event?
Very conservative, for sure. Everyone was very energetic, chanting Trump, chanting USA.
Get comfortable. Bring the best libs that Utah has to offer.
There was a line of liberals on the rooftop who were holding pride flags and I think some Palestine flags and things like that. And, there was a little bit of taunting back and forth, but not very out of hand. Most of the debaters were either asking questions like who's better, LeBron or Jordan, or some theological debates about distinctions between Mormonism and Christians.
That Jesus Christ was a real person. He lived a perfect life. He was crucified, died, and rose on the third day, and he is Lord and God over all. Christ is King.
But also, the event lasted, I want to say 20 minutes, maybe. I really didn't get a good finger on the pulse on what an event would really look like, because, I showed up fairly early. I was the second person to speak there. So, the first person was maybe 10 minutes, and I maybe got, less than a minute in. So.
Could you give us...
Okay, so I'm confused by this, and maybe I'm just trying to poke holes in this guy's whatever, but I remember seeing this clip before. Ew, look at this. So Kenny, somebody complimented this guy's couch. I'm just noticing, and again, I'm on other tabs. I'm looking for stuff, but I'm just noticing this guy has every retard flag except this one. I'm I'm on the verge of being okay with, a proponent of. But the rest of these, this is very interesting. This is interesting. Let me see here. All right, I'll keep playing this. I'm looking somewhere. One of these videos I had of this Hunter guy actually had his handle tagged, and when I tried searching him on Instagram, I'm not seeing his page, but he was tagged somewhere.
kind of a recap of how that conversation with Charlie went?
Sure.
Yeah, this is working. Hey, Charlie. Hey, hopefully we're gonna have a little bit more disagreement.
Oh, what I was saying. Sorry, guys. I'm so goddamn sidetracked. This guy says, hold on, did he not say people were asking questions about this, and that, theology, something else, and something else? Is this all one person? Because then he just said he was the second person. So he's like, it sounded as if he was saying there were multiple people that asked several different questions about like different topics. But then he said he's the second person that went up to speak. Hold on.
Everyone was very energetic, chanting Trump, chanting USA.
Get comfortable. Bring the best libs that Utah has to offer.
There was a line of liberals on the rooftop who were holding like pride flags and I think some like Palestine flags and things like that. And, you know, there was a little bit of taunting back and forth, but not very out of hand. Most of the debaters were either like asking questions like who's better, LeBron or Jordan, or like.
Most of the debaters were asking questions like da-da-da-da-da. So is he talking about they're saying this in line to each other? Because then he said he is the second person that goes up. So maybe I'm overanalyzing too much.
Some like theological debates about distinctions between like Mormonism and Christians.
That Jesus Christ was a real person. He lived a perfect life. He was crucified, died, and rose on the third day, and he is Lord and God over all. Christ is dead.
But also, the event lasted, I want to say 20 minutes, maybe. Like, I really didn't get a good finger on the pulse on what an event would really look like, because, I mean, I showed up fairly early. I was the second person to speak there. So, like, you know, the first person was maybe 10 minutes, and I maybe got, like, less than a minute in. So.
Could you give us kind of a recap of how that conversation with Charlie went?
Sure.
Yeah, this is working. Hey, Charlie. Hey, hopefully we're gonna have a little bit more disagreement.
So it was, I came in and I said, hey, there was a shooting that happened maybe a few weeks ago in Minneapolis.
And ever since then, about 3 weeks later, the Trump DOJ said that we should start talking about revoking gun rights for transgender Americans.
Do you think, is that, you agree with this? Is that a fair assessment or something like that? And he said, yes. And then I said.
So, do you know how many transgender Americans have been mass shooters over the last 10 years?
Too many.
And I said, there's 5. And I said, do you know how many shootings there have been? I think maybe my memory's a little hazy. I haven't rewatched the videos, honestly. But it was something like this, which I knew the answer. It was a little under 6,000. He said something like, we need to account for gang violence. And I think I was like, I was in the middle of saying, great, did you run a statistical analysis on that, right? Like essentially saying you have the burden of proof. And I think I was in the middle of saying that when he got shot.
Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years?
Counting or not counting gang violence?
Great.
I went down pretty immediately, and everyone near me, everyone in the rest of my line, who I'd been talking to for the last like few hours, dropped down with me. I remember, I have a brother who was in a school shooting, and I was
Wait, what? I had a brother that was in a school shooting. You have to be fucking kidding me. I'm over this. Lucas, welcome. You said I have a bunch of alias accounts. This is also Diego. And this other anti-Vizaxizine says this is also Diego. Wow, please watch on all your accounts. I need the fluffing. We're a growing channel. I'm a growing boy. Jesus Christ. This is also one of Diego's accounts. Last to make random point to 7. This is Diego 2. Thank you, Scott Starber. Make sure you're hitting the like button with each one of those accounts that you log in with, please. Thank you. I really need the help. I'm on here fighting algorithms every night. It looks like I'm just having fun as a streamer. This is a fight you see before you. This isn't just a fun time for me, okay? It might look like I'm having fun. I'm fighting for my goddamn life in here every night. Wouldn't have it any other way, chat.
Talking about the distinction between these, that like for me, it was there wasn't as much fear as I think I would expect, because I recognized immediately, like I think I was a lot more logical than I thought I would be in that moment, where I was like, that's an assassination. He is the target. He is the only target.
He's like, look, I swear I didn't know this beforehand, but very quickly, I'm talking in like a split second, I realized, wait, the shooter's not after me. The shooter's probably on my side. The shooter probably agrees with me. I'm safe. I swear I didn't know that going into this, but I figured it out in a matter of like milliseconds.
I am freaked out, but I know that I'm okay. Whatever. It definitely became chaotic. My wife was in the crowd. I tried reaching her. It took me like 20, 30 minutes. Just a lot of chaos as like, I sort of shifted in a weird place, and then I had to wrap back around, and I couldn't find her, and our phones weren't really working, and it was bombarded by texts, and I don't know. So it was very chaotic, and it took a while to really orient myself. But it was a strange environment because people were kind of milling around afterward. I think a lot of people had this similar idea that it's like, this is different. An assassination is very different from a mass shooting, where a mass shooting you disperse, right? Everyone's a target. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to an assassination, it's everyone just sort of was there. And I heard a number of people say, like, so much for the tolerant left, right? Like the 2 or 3 people said that as they walked by.
And what do you think about that assessment?
I made this video a little while ago. I've been following, sounds crazy. I've been following Charlie Kirk for a little while. I went to Tampa, Florida for one of his events. I remember I was just basically interviewing.
Jesus Christ, guys. This guy was in Tampa, Florida. That's where I live. Like, I wasn't going to try to confront Charlie Kirk on something, was not even like on my radar, when he was in Tampa. Unfortunately, it wasn't until after like he had been further into his tour. I know, like, didn't Alex Stein, I think one of Alex Stein's videos where he talked to Charlie Kirk was in Tampa. I could be wrong about that. But anyway, I knew he came to Tampa. But, I only started thinking about if I could actually confront Charlie Kirk. I didn't even really consider that until after he had been gone from Tampa. But just think, if I would have gone to Tampa, the Tampa thing, I would have been rubbing shoulders, not, metaphorically, but literally, physically rubbing shoulders with this goddamn whatever you want to, I don't even know. I don't know what this creature.
Some of these
crisis actor.
Some of his followers, and I found this girl, and she seemed so young and bright, ignorant for sure, dumb, I would probably say. I'll be honest, dumb, but I was just asking her questions, and I started bringing up, I'm like, oh, liberals would say, and then I would give my argument, right?
Someone can go get like a whole surgery done, without parent approval. It's like, how is that even happening? How are they going to the doctor's appointments without the parents there?
And then I know I've seen parents on social media where they're like, oh, I haven't identified my kid yet, and it scares me because I'm like, oh my gosh, like they're gonna grow up thinking that they don't know what they are, or like that they could transition into something else. And
but wouldn't that be transitioning with parent approval?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, to take away. Does that make sense?
But if they have parent approval, it sounds like you're talking about parents who give approval that they should be trans.
She was like, that's such an interesting thing. I've never thought of that, right? She gave, and I was like, I was like, cut. That's so perfect. I'm so glad I captured that like the conservative person was so clearly just kind of needed to hear the right thing and maybe got bumped in the right direction. And I posted it feeling so confident, and 90% of the comments were about how fat she was. And I really felt like what am I contributing to in this culture? And like in some ways I'm extremely proud of the left. I'm extremely proud of the people that I've met organizing. And
so is that his TikTok? Where's the clip back here? Where's you with the fatty? This is his channel. What are we at? We're at 910. Staxiums?
That they could transition into something else. And
But wouldn't that be transitioning with parent approval?
yeah, that's what I'm like saying, like to take away. Does that make sense?
But if they have parent approval, it sounds like you're talking about parents who give approval that they should be trans.
she was like, that's such an interesting thing. I've never thought of that, right? She gave, and I was like, I was like, cut. That's so.
Oh, so he was saying he actually thought he was getting through to this bitch, and then everybody in his comments was talking shit about her. So let me see. Staxiums. All right, let's keep watching this. Let me check it out. What were you guys saying? Shit, I read it in the chat and I didn't. What were you guys saying? Oh, who said it? Scott Starbird, I think, was saying Candace Owens. Were you being for real? Scott Starbird, are you still in the chat? You said something about Candace Owens saying that all these actors are TPUSA or something. Can you tell me again in the chat what you were referring to? Oh, he says, hurry up and play Candace Owens' last show. She shows how these crisis actors were TPUSA. Are you for real? I did not even see this, guys. I just I heard it was Charlie Kirk's birthday, and I was like, okay, I'll let's unload some of this that I've been backed up on with the Kirk conspiracies. Dude, really? Hold the fuck up. Where is that? On her YouTube? Let's get out of here. Fuck this guy. Um 5 days ago. Is it her last live or her last video? Oh, that's a month ago. You're talking about this one? I haven't seen this one. Revelations, the truth about Kirk's medical report. Is this what you're talking about? Last live? Okay.
My name is Cecilia. I'm a mom of 2 girls, a psychologist, and I choose to transform my PBC.
All right, you guys, happy Thursday. Last show until I take a much needed break. And it's going to be a good one. As always, as we continue this investigation, we are definitively getting closer. So what do we recall? Well,
Scott Starbird, do you have any idea where in this video it is that she gets into this?
we were told that Charlie just had healthy bones, that it was a miracle that the gun...
Magic bones, correction, magic bones. It was a miracle.
Did not take his neck out and that his spine somehow stopped it. I can now officially debunk that Marvel storyline and therefore refocus our investigation on what actually happened on 9/10 because I have new information and I'm presenting it to the public today. Plus, later on the show, Josh Hammer has emerged. You know, he's the one that thinks that all white men, all white European men are anti-Semitic. Well, he is now releasing text messages between him and Charlie that literally prove absolutely nothing other than that Josh Hammer is a dummy and didn't realize that the text messages make his storyline somehow even less credulous. Good news is that he at least didn't plug his book. Welcome back to Candace.
Thank God he spared us plugging that shitty book.
All right, you guys, where to begin? Obviously, we have a lot to unpack before I go on vacation. I'm looking forward to reading. I'm also looking forward to processing a lot of the information that is coming to me and researching more. The place that we should start on today's show is with, well, I first and foremost have to tell you right at the top, I can't tell you exactly who the information came from.
That's my last protein shake of the night, guys. Check it out. We're trying to bulk up. Oh, trying to be Hulk Hogan for Halloween. Got to bulk up a little bit, guys. Got to get these pythons bigger. What the fuck's going on around here? I did back day today. I took a picture and sent it to my butt buddy. The back's looking good, though. I don't feel like taking my shirt off, making it that kind of stream, but the back's looking good. It was a little stronger. I could have pushed it more, but I'm scared to. I told you guys I've had shoulder and elbow problems. I'm just barely getting over, but we'll be ripped.
Or which parties were involved in giving me this information, because I don't want to get anybody in trouble. But I can say that I have positively verified something about the injury.
Halfway through, Scott? Okay, hold on.
That Charlie sustained to his neck that I think is going to go a very long way in terms of helping those of us who have been sleuthing, those of us who want answers, those of us who are dedicating our time to this, because what we are being told by the authorities beggars belief. As John and Arena Mappin said, it just simply beggars belief. We also want to make sure that we are presenting evidence and debunking one another where we can, so that all of us can collectively zero in and build upon whatever facts we have in this decentralized investigation. This is about the injury, okay? So Andrew Kovats was, I can tell you, telling the truth in part when he wrote that very long tweet in which he tried to explain why there was no exit wound. Do you recall this? Long story short, he said, I'm going to read it. I want to address some of the things that the lack of an exit wound, about the lack of an exit wound with Charlie. I'm usually not interested in delving into most of this kind of online chatter, and I apologize if this is somewhat graphic, but in this case, the fact that there wasn't an exit wound is probably another miracle, and I want people to know. I just spoke with the surgeon who worked on Charlie in the hospital. He said the bullet absolutely should have gone through, which is very normal for a high-powered, high-velocity round. I've seen wounds from this caliber many times, and they always just go through everything. This would have taken a moose or two down, an elk, etc., but it didn't go through. Charlie's body stopped it. I mentioned to his doctor that there were dozens of staff, students, and special guests standing directly behind Charlie on the other side of the tent, and he replied, it was an absolute miracle that someone else didn't get killed. His bone was so healthy and the density was so impressive that he's like the man of steel. It should have just gone through and through. It likely would have killed those standing.
So retarded. Oh, you guys aren't even watching it. I think you can hear it, though, right? You guys were hearing it.
Behind him, too. In the end, the coroner did find the bullet just beneath the skin. Even in death, Charlie managed to save the lives of those around him.
So fucking stupid. This is how retarded these people think we are.
Miraculous. Now, keep that up for just a second, because it's really around here. His bone was so healthy and the density was so impressive that he's like the man of steel. Now we just went, something's not right. Something's not right.
Peak performance starts
You're
with
damn right something's not right.
prioritizing rest.
A lot of stuff's not right. I just don't know why a surgeon would be saying something that actually only the medical examiner, somebody that specializes in forensics, could really contribute. Yes, a surgeon can tell you, or actually any person with common sense can tell you that your bone density is better when you're younger, but this seemed a little bit too performative. Now, I can tell you the part that he is telling the truth about is that Charlie's neck indeed did stop the bullet, without question, okay? And this is going to dispel a lot of theories that are out there, and I'm telling you this 100%. Charlie Kirk was shot from the front. And
This bitch is off. I did see this clip. This clip went around after she posted this. So I did see this. She's totally off. That is not a fucking entrance wound in the front. I don't believe it for a second. I don't believe it. There's just like, you just have to understand, if you know anything about entrance versus exit wounds, it's like, I don't even know what kind of, like, I'm no expert, but I don't know what kind of round you have to. It's almost across the board, 100% of the time. If there's an exit wound, it's bigger. If there's a round, we all saw the size of the wound in the front that just had blood pouring out of it. If that is the size of the entrance wound, there's gonna be an exit wound. That's like, if we're talking about a bullet, okay, if it's a bullet wound that is that big of an entrance wound, there's no way your bones are stopping it. That's not even real life. You're just talking, you're completely off. So I just don't believe for a second that was the entrance wound. That's the thing, guys. Show me, somebody else show me. We've been through this on the stream. We pulled up the fucking there's like real like medical examiner charts and stuff that we pulled up showing different kind of rounds and the kind of entrance versus exit wounds. The exit wound is always bigger, and there's no round that looks that big going in and in the soft part of your neck and maybe hits your spine and it's not going to exit. That's just not even real. It's insulting.
Bullet did not exit, and at least a fragment of the bullet was recovered from his neck. And I'm going to tell you exactly.
Yeah, so yeah, I know what we could. Do I even want to? Oh wait, she is on the ground witnesses. All right, let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at on the ground witnesses, because this is the guy. I don't know if she's going to get more into detail or she's going to talk about where the bullet came from with this. Let's just take a peek at this. Really, I wanted to see. I'm not sure, Scott Starboard, I'm not sure if you're talking about. Scott said he's back to thinking it came from the back. Yeah, that's right. I knew you'd be back. They all come back. No, I don't know, guys. It really so I actually saved who was it? The comedian, Jimmy Dore. Is it right? Is that the guy? I think it is. Jimmy Dore, isn't he one of the like comedian podcast host type of people that has been commenting and speculating about varying theories on this? I believe I'm right on that. I could look to see, but I saved a clip of him talking about the palm gun theory. And I think I already played this on the stream, so I wasn't going to bring it up again. But really, when I go back and forth entertaining other ideas, I have not really, the one I have always stuck with the whole time with, is that the bullet came from the right, slightly behind him. This is what I've stuck with the whole time, like any day since the night of day one. I have been on this, I've been leaning towards, being a full-on proponent of this one theory. But I've entertained all kinds of possibilities with this. And the palm gun thing, I truly looked at it and tried to say, okay, pair this, compare this with my theory that I'm a proponent of, okay, and what lines up better and stuff. And I just said, and I wasn't even considering. I just realized this goes along with debunking the palm gun theory, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. That goes along with also debunking the palm gun theory. Is I just can't fathom, and again, I'm not a fucking gun expert, but I can't fathom a round that comes from a palm gun that makes a hole that big and also does not exit. It just doesn't even, that doesn't seem like a reality at all. Just the little bit that I've learned about, and from what I've seen also, I've seen deer and stuff that have been shot. I've gone hunting for deer. I've never shot a deer myself, but I've been hunting and stuff. And I'm like, I've been exposed to some entrance and exit wounds and stuff. And it's just like, I can't make sense of this being from the front. So for me, even though it looks like there's also a bullet in this video that people are showing saying it's the palm gun. But, guys, there were bugs and stuff flying around. And this is part of the reason this is why I think my theory, or the theory I'm a proponent of, is not debunked is because it lines up everything lines up so well. Even if you go, well, okay, maybe it's a possibility that the thing that you're seeing in the video isn't a bullet, that it's a bug. Because you can see, guys, in all the videos, you can see there are bugs flying around and stuff. So that complicates things. But like I said, it just all lines up so perfectly. There's the one video that shows what looks like to be some kind of flash that's up in that corner. And then the what appears to be the bullet is captured in one single frame of the video that's filmed from Charlie Kirk's left side, and it shows the bullet. It looks like it comes like over his shoulder from behind and from his right side. That also, okay, maybe it's a bug, maybe not, but it just lines up perfectly with the muzzle flare, what appears to be a bullet, could be a bug, but it appears to be a bullet. And then it lines up also with the theory that this is an exit wound in the front, because it just doesn't, even if you say, I never saw that video and I'm not a proponent of any theory, and you just asked me about the wound in the front of Charlie Kirk's neck, I would say that's not an entrance wound. Even if I didn't have a theory I was trying to push or be a proponent of. I'm not really trying to push anything, but it all lines up so well with the back right side thing, you know? I think Candace is way off here, and that I have no problem saying that, even though I do, you know, she's proven some credibility with size. She don't know shit about entrance and exit wounds. She probably doesn't know about guns, but I mean, shit, you can't argue with those donor text messages, especially after TPUSA comes out and verifies that they're real.
Where it was recovered from. I have fact-checked this information from multiple sources now. I've actually been sitting on this for a little bit over a week. Right around here. So think about almost in line with your shoulder blade right in the center. Now, why is that helpful? Because it gives us a bullet trajectory, okay? Went in here where you saw that, and it was stopped, and a fragment was pulled from, think right, if you're just touching your spine in line with your shoulder blade. That leads us, obviously, to the part that he's maybe not being forthcoming about. They did not recover a bullet from a 30-06. They didn't recover a bullet from a 30-06. This didn't happen, okay? If they found a 30-06 bullet, Charlie's death certificate certainly would have reflected that. In suicide situations, that's just one example. Medical examiners, feel free to chime in. I've spoken to quite a few. But when the gun and the bullet are known, they are reflected onto the death certificate, okay? There is not one reflected onto Charlie Kirk's death certificate because they did not recover a bullet from a 30-06. Hunters and military men rejoice. It turns out that common sense still rules the roost, okay? You guys were right. You were absolutely right. And this is why I hate politics, because it requires us to submit to the idea that we were all somehow born yesterday. That life really can just be a marvel.
All right, let's get to the witnesses. We get it.
You will recall that throughout all of this, or during this mayhem rather, there were people who were insisting, by the way, that were on the ground, the witnesses that were insisting that they heard multiple shots.
Oh shit, sorry, I've completely lost track of the chat. I've been back and forth on other tabs and shit. K-Dog's up in here. What's up, brother? I missed you. Lover, thanks for joining us. Anti-vax, what the fuck are you talking about? Hold on. I'm way behind on reading your stuff. I'm trying to understand the context of this. Oh, okay, hold on. You're speculating about the round and stuff. Best I heard was that it's reminiscent of a 22 most. IDK sheriffs, 5250 me, and I can't shoot guns the rest of my life. All I know is stupid videos now. I don't know about a 22. Maybe it's possible. Again, the thing is, I won't pretend that I'm anywhere near like somebody educated enough about like rounds and what the actual entrance and exit wounds, what it actually looks like on a person to see that happen. I won't pretend to know, But what I do know from seeing what I have seen, knowing how small, I could show you guys how small a 22 bullet is. And, you know, thinking that it was like a 22 or a 25, that's even smaller. To think that it was one of those things fired from a palm gun. And number one, the guy's hand, look, the smaller the gun, granted a 22 isn't a lot of kick, but guys, the smaller a gun is, like the less weight there is to a gun, when you fire it, all that recoil is going into your hands, okay? Shooting a regular 22, I have a Walther P22, guys. I don't shoot it much. I just like shooting my concealed carry gun that I keep with me. But and the Walther P22 that I have is very ammo sensitive, so that's part of the thing too. I have to buy, there's certain kinds of ammo that it likes, unfortunately. So anyway, when I shoot the Walther P22, there's some kick to it. It's not like it's nothing. I mean, it's just a 22. It's not like it's nothing crazy, but it has kick. The fucking palm gun video, it does not look like this guy's hand moves at all. I mean, he would have had to, I mean, for real, I can't make sense of it being a palm gun and there not being like a significant amount of recoil to have fired it with one hand, not looking through a sight or lining up at all. Just shoot from your hand from here and hit him directly in the neck and kill him instantly. It's just so far. It's so much more far-fetched than over the shoulder from back behind to the right side. Truth is Unbreakable is saying, even before and after CK was shot, his bodyguards didn't draw their weapons to de-escalate the threat. And First Aid 101, you don't move the person as it will cause trauma. No blood. Dude, there's just so much to say about the way they acted that day. And I'm not one of the people that is, you know, a lot of people thought they were handing stuff back and forth that looked suspicious. And the slow down video I saw of that completely cured me of that. I don't know. It all looked fucking weird. The fucking hand signals and shit. It definitely looked like tactical hand signals. And when we looked up what the meanings of those were, it meant suspect and sniper and stuff. It'd be different what if we looked up the tactical hand signals and instead of suspect and sniper, this meant I have to take a shit. Someone take my shift because I have to shit right now. That would be unrelated and it would just be like, you know, trivial. But it's yeah, everything's weird about this. That's the problem. Every step of the way, it's just weird.
It's another element of this. But those individuals were not the ones that were awarded with mainstream media interviews. In fact, one guy, and this kind of went viral at the time, even got pushed, physically pushed, and was not given the ability to speak at all. They shut him up. It looked, if we were just examining the situation, it certainly looked like Turning Point employees or staff or students thugged him so that he wouldn't say what he thought happened. Let's take a listen to that clip that has gone viral.
So this is that same guy. Man, this is all too much. So we just went through this. She's going to say, oh, they tried to shut him up. That's very weird. Hold on. What's this? Let's see where she goes after this. Because we've seen this video.
Imagine bringing your side project to life just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
That's what I love about YouTube videos is if you just like sort of click to a random spot in the video, even if you just watched 5 ads, it'll throw 5 more at you. I like that.
Who can't speak out about things. There were tons of people that were talking about their testimonies. It's very odd. In the immediate aftermath of the shooting, you're telling me that Turning Point USA sent around a text and said nobody speak to the media. That was the excuse, by the way, for why he shut that guy up. People were saying, oh, you know, they're not allowed to speak to the media. So they were just doing what they were told. What he heard and what he saw, because apparently he was the person that was holding the mic. when the shot rang out. Take a listen to what he told Jesse Waters on the night of.
Cooper Brown was an event volunteer who was just feet away from Charlie when he got shot. Cooper, what happened?
Yeah, so this requires a little bit of background knowledge, but so I work for an organization called Leadership Institute, and what we do is we work hand in hand with all the different conservative coalition groups on college campuses. So the Young Americans for Liberty, the Students for Life, and the Turning Point USAs. And so at Utah Valley, we had been really, really excited to be able to host Charlie Kirk this semester, and we had spent weeks and weeks and weeks getting volunteers, advertising for this event, and just so excited to be able to host Charlie Kirk at this university. And then unfortunately it had to end in absolute tragedy.
So I'm trying to get in touch with this individual once I realized that not only did he speak the night of, he also spoke on Fox News the very next day, which would mean what? Did Turning Point USA, I don't know the answer to this, I'm asking genuinely, did they say speak to this person who's not actually a TPUSA student, but he was there? I don't know how this works. But the next day, sure enough, he appeared on Fox News again. And I'm not sure if we had that clip, Skylar, but if we do, let's roll it.
That day we had 30 or so student volunteers that were designated roles that were going to be helping pass out Turning Point USA merchandise and getting people signed up for the event. And my responsibility was, when the event actually started, to help manage just the microphone. So something simple as just raising it and lowering it, making sure students were able to speak into it clearly. And I thought this was a fantastic opportunity to be up really, really close, to be able to witness all the amazing dialogue that was going to be happening on campus.
A couple of things about Cooper Brown that to me is a bit of a mystery at this moment. First and foremost, you provide witness testimony. You start doing the rounds on Fox News. You are fair game, okay? I'm going to start asking questions. I need to know everything. Everything's got to fit neatly into my timeline. So in trying to reach out to him and in publicly posting him, trying to identify this individual, I received a ton of emails. One email said, hey, I'm actually his cousin, and here is his number. Now, I noticed that cousin happens to live in Phoenix, Arizona. So I went and just checked some profiles on social media. I found some Browns, but they were all living in Phoenix, Arizona. Okay, maybe this person's from Phoenix, Arizona. Well, actually, when I went through what he has as his resume on this website where he says that he works with this institute, I couldn't fact check any of the things. Went to school, a very small college in New Hampshire. I'm from the Northeast. If you're going to school in New Hampshire, especially not the University of New Hampshire, you can go ahead and bet that you're going to be a local. So I'm looking for a kid that's from New Hampshire to go to this tiny school. I found someone from that name with his name, but it was actually a girl that had that name and graduated in the year he says he graduated in. He doesn't look to me like he just graduated college, but according to his resume, he did. And the number that she gives me, which is the first thing that registers me as odd, is it's a Utah. I mean, sorry, it's a Phoenix-based number. So I'm going, who is this person, and why is it linking that number to somebody else who's 32 years old and has that same last name? I don't know. I intend to get those answers, but there's something here that strikes me as a little bit odd, especially given the fact that as a volunteer, as he expresses there, they decided to allow him to hold the microphone. That's supposed to be like kind of an honor at Utah events. Turning Point USA kids work really hard to put these events on. They decided he's going to hold the microphone. They went with a volunteer. I don't know, but I'm going to find out. Okay, I don't know, but I'm going to find out. So, if you went to the Southern New Hampshire University with this Cooper Brown and you majored with him in politics and you can provide some insight, I'd like to hear from you. I am, again, asking these questions publicly because we are getting no answers from Turning Point USA or the feds or anything that makes any practical sense in this scenario. Why was everything...
Nothing makes sense.
...so brand new on this day? Now, for those of you that are still caught up in what I just told you, which is that for a fact, Charlie was shot from the front. So we know the bullet trajectory. There's no gains here. There's no magic bullets. It's a smaller weapon, okay? Your ears didn't betray you. My ears didn't betray me. We definitely did hear a very recognizable sound of a rifle shot, but I'm telling you that Charlie wasn't hit with that rifle. And there is not a medical examiner's report or a death certificate which will stipulate otherwise. It doesn't exist. So what exactly are the feds building their case on? Vibes?
Man, this is why I feel like it is not that necessarily. I mean, if the chat is big enough and active enough, then we probably could cover all the bases, but I feel like this is why it's good to have a live chat, because I don't know. This is part of the problem with Candace doing her spiel like this is you have like, there's no one there to do like any kind of rebuttal. And, at least for me and anybody that I would show this video of hers to, I would have to add the context that she is wrong about the bullet coming from the front, and she's never going to, it's just a thing that never becomes addressed. She doesn't know how ridiculous that is to think that some high-powered round went into the front of Charlie's neck and didn't exit out of the back. Something that made a fucking a hole that big. But it's never going to be addressed. All right, let's see if Let's see if she gets into the fucking TPUSA. I feel like Scott Starboard, I feel like the stuff she's going to get into is about the Josh Hammer stuff. Because it doesn't look like she brings up. I mean, that was the guy there. That's who we're speculating about being Chris ISIS actors. And she said that's a legitimate guy. So, yeah, I don't know if she's on the same page. Oh, look, another ad, guys. I made the mistake of clicking somewhere else on this video. We got another ad.
Big ideas.
Their salary-based mortgage consultants are saving customers an average of $800 a month.
Oh, and look at that. Now we're inside of another ad. This is the adception of YouTube. You click on the video, you get an ad. So, you know, someone sends you the link, you click on it, it plays an ad. Then you think the video is going to start and you're like, oh, wait, I want to see this part of the video. You click over there. It's another YouTube ad. And then when the YouTube ad lets you skip through it, then you're then inside an ad that is embedded within the content of the video. I love it.
Get started today. You may even be able to delay your next mortgage payment. Take control. Call American Financing today. The number is 800.
All of these good ads, these company American Financing. That's for me. Okay, let's see. What are we?
At checkout. All right, a couple of updates for you. We were getting all of your emails. I want to tell you, we're working on everything. Okay, it's like an investigation that never stops. It's just trains that are slowly moving as we get answers. And like I said, even that I've been sitting on for a while. I'm waiting for people to react, see what people say, because I need to know who's guilty of what. I don't know.
Dude, I'm sorry, and I know I'm just a shitty streamer with not that many subscribers, and I'm working on it. But I just don't know about the. I feel like, and again, it might be my ignorance, but I feel like you are doing your audience such a disservice. If you are going to have monetized videos that you're monetized through YouTube, how dare you? Like, you're going to make people click through the ads on your video that you have because they're monetized on YouTube, and then you are going to also have ads within the content. Like, not even skillfully placed, kind of like, you know, oh, I use that Dr. Squatch soap because it's really good. Yeah, and, you know, whatever. Like, you just happen to be taught. It is like blatant ads, like a ad read that's several minutes long in a video. I mean, just like, how much money do you need to make through YouTube? I guess, do people just not care? Am I really that, like, I just feel like that's a slap in the face. I just, yeah, I don't know.
Oh, but I need to watch people lie. Now, one area of conversation that I haven't said much about, but I want you to know we are still working on it, are the two planes that day, right? One of them being the plane that people have recognized is military. That's tail number N1098L. So this plane left from Texas, went over to Utah right about the time that Charlie got assassinated. It dipped real low. It seemed like, who knows what this plane was being sent there for, but the fact that this plane had been used in the military rightfully alerted people to the fact that they may have had some knowledge. This plane may have had some knowledge of what was going to occur. But one thing I want to clarify for you is that that plane was being contracted. You guys noticed that it was owned by Lasai Aviation LLC. We are waiting more information, but I just wanted to let you know that you recognize that. It is strange. It did happen. There's no question. I've been saying from the beginning, this was a military operation. It's very obvious. The more you peel back the onion, it is very obvious that this was a military operation. So it's fitting that you would have a plane that the military certainly uses. Who would contract that sort of plane? Now, would be a very easy question for Kash Patel to answer. Hey, Kash Patel, most transparent ever, except when it comes to Epstein. What's up with this plane? Certainly you have knowledge of who contracted this plane. The answer, if you're being transparent, is going to be like, oh, just a coincidence. You know, just a coincidence. Somebody decided to take a vacation flight from Texas over Utah to do a little circle and return back home. Happens all the time. You know, when you're bored and you just have an unbelievable amount of money, that's what you do. We're not going to get those answers from Kash Patel about that plane. We're not even getting straight answers about the other plane. That's the plane where Derek Maxfield, his wife.
Wait, hold up. Hold up. Scott Starbird, you said she gets 2 super chats calling her out in this video? Someone calls her out about the shot not being from the front. Ah, nice. That's good. Dude, bro. Some people fucking know what's up, man. I get it. That's what I'm saying, guys. It's difficult to wade through this stuff, but in saying that, I'm recognizing why people might not want, me to be covering it 4 days a week. Okay, but I don't think we're not completely lost here. It's all fucking crazy, but at least with the trajectory and stuff, it's sort of like the litmus test, or it's the grounding characteristic of a conspiracy, or of any of these conspiracies is people talking about the lapel, or Candace saying it's from the front, people saying the palm gun and all this stuff. But it's like, it is a lot, but I feel like we're not completely lost here. I'm not just like, using word salad and just sort of like, sticking to one theory because I like it because Alex Jones said it or something stupid like that. We've done this ourselves from day one. I haven't been just like piggybacking off of one person's theory here and not trying to debunk or rebuttal it at all. And I don't know, guys. I feel like we're near the target. We're hovering over the target. And some people, they have like big platforms and they throw a lot of shit out there, but they don't have enough like pushback or something to really get a good rock solid idea going. Like, I feel like we're not like too far off here. If you really just kind of look enough stuff up yourself, you kind of like, you can wade through it. But again, it takes a village. Scott Starbird, I know there's been a bunch of people up in the chat. Scott, other people giving me pointers and stuff. I do want to hear some of this. We did have to the number 4 worst actor of the whole Charlie Kirk. Well, it's number 1 is Erika Kirk, and I wish we'd have time to get to that, but we'll see.
Wayne Maxfield, they sold some beauty.
I'm interested in what she says about this plane thing. I've heard people speculating about the goddamn plane. I don't know. Some people think that John Cullen guy on Twitter, he thinks that this plane took off and actually released these drones. You guys remember I brought up the drones that one night we talked about it, and I showed the video where there's different things flying around, and some of the footage, when you look at the thing, there's like a couple things that look like they could be birds. But then there's a couple of these things where it just goes across the screen so fucking fast and gets caught by like, of the whole field of view. It only catches this thing on like 4 frames, and you can see these other objects that look like they're probably birds, and they're sort of like fluttering, and you can almost see the wings, and they move across the screen like they're just kind of like, flying around or whatever. And these other things go zing, zing, and you see it on 3 or 4 frames, and that's it. And so there's this John Cullen guy speculates that these drones were released from this plane, because that is actually a thing. They have these planes that they actually fly to high altitudes or higher altitudes to release drones and stuff to do like, intel operations or shit like that.
Company for billion.
It's a way that you can have a drone battery only lasts so long, right? So the idea, I think, behind, again, I don't know that much about it, but the idea is that you fly this plane that holds all of these drones, and then you get the plane sort of near the thing you want to, monitor, and then you release the drones out, and they only have to fly like a little ways to get to the thing that you want them to film or attack.
I believe, and they now just run a human sex trafficking organization in Utah. That was that plane. I can't remember. 888 is what I actually remember. And it seemed as though that plane left. It went to Page, Arizona, and it
Scott Starr, that is fair. You know what? Yes, Candace wants to be right more than she wants to figure it out, in my opinion. I don't know, man. I get what you're saying. Like I said, it's a toss up with her. And I'm not trying to be a dick. I appreciate all the work she's put into this, but she's like petty enough to just not let this go, and I like that. But then sometimes where she gets to she gets in her I'm a bad bitch and ain't nobody gonna tell me not to investigate Charlie Kirk. And then that attitude, unfortunately, when you are on the wrong theory, you don't have as much of an open mind to be swayed because you're in this defense, this bad girl defense mode. That's kind of the vibe I get from her.
appeared that the ADS-B transponder turned off. Now, what Kash Patel told us is different from what Derek Maxfield told us. Derek Maxfield.
Okay, so yeah, the plane transponder, I'm talking over this too much, guys. I'm sorry. The plane transponder turned off. So this plane, what happens is this plane takes off. It's I think the plane took off an hour or something. It was the morning of the Charlie Kirk incident. It took off before it happened. Then it flew towards the direction of the UVU campus where Kirk was, and then the transponder turned off. And then after the unfortunate event happened to Charlie Kirk, the transponder comes back on, and the plane is flying back, returning to its takeoff position.
On Instagram, clarified that the Air Traffic Control Center was in agreement with them that they could stop transponding.
What you're going to see in this next course is how simple I keep things when it comes.
Kash Patel says that plane never stopped transponding. So I don't know what the truth is, and I'm not even pretending that we're ever going to get the truth. What I can tell you is that the investigation that we have been privately conducting has led to more questions and answers. Obviously, multiple pilots, people that work at these airports, people who are invested in the story have reached out, and I'm grateful for that. Multiple people have confirmed that this plane was a little bit weird that day. It was supposed to land in Page, Arizona, in Millionaire FBO. Last second, it made a change. As you guys know, an FBO is just a private terminal. So if you're in a public airport, you go to Terminal 7. If you're flying private, you go to FBO, and it has a name. So that plane was supposed to land into an FBO called Millionaire. Last second, that plane decided to change and say, we are going to instead land in a Signature, a different FBO. Apparently it landed in a Signature. That's certainly what we were told. But there's something off about that, because when people are trying to look into it, somebody at an FBO at first said, oh yes, you've made multiple trips in the last couple of days. And then that person said, I don't know what you're talking about. No plane ever landed here. What? Multiple people have confirmed this for me. There's something very unusual about this flight. They're guarding information about this flight. That doesn't make sense to me. I don't like that we've got feds guarding FBO information. We've got feds guarding Dairy Queens. I don't know. Do you need your ice cream guarded? What is going on? Guys, you got to just give up. It's going to come out. Whatever it is going to come out. You would have to, and I wouldn't put it past you, you'd have to get rid of all of us. You've got 7 billion people you've got to ethnically cleanse right now if you wanted to just forget about the Charlie Kirk story. It's no one's forgetting it, okay? Not the ballistics guys on YouTube that we're all listening to. And no one's gonna let this one go, because, and by the way, that's your fault. I don't know whose sadistic idea it was to make this a public execution, but let me tell you where you made the mistake, okay? In 1963, when JFK was shot, people didn't watch it on TikTok. People mostly read about it, and then the feds lied about it, heard about it. But to be able to have us watch that live around the world, you traumatized all of us. And not
Bro, the Zapruder film, right? That didn't come out for a while. In fact, I think it was years. Hold on, let me look. I'll keep playing this. Let me check out, because the Kennedy assassination Zapruder film, which is the only angle recorded, supposedly only angle recorded of the Kennedy assassination, that I think wasn't released until years later. Let me check on that.
The way that you meant to traumatize us and maybe and make us fearful and scared. And yeah, that happened. Then you made us really angry that corruption is allowed to be like this, just so blatant and so in our face, looking at us as if we're nothing. And what are you going to do about it? That's the attitude. What are you going to do about it? You wanted to traumatize us, and then to, on a dime, flip and look us in the face and go, how dare you ask questions? People are grieving. Yeah, we're grieving because you assassinated Charlie Kirk in front of the entire world. If you had pretended he slipped and fell on some ice in the winter, maybe you wouldn't have this response. But you got our attention because you went after our attention. You wanted this for whatever sadistic reason. You wanted this to be a public execution, and that disturbs me. So you get what you get, okay? This is the internet generation. You get TikTokers.
Oh, I guess that's not right. Let me keep looking here, but I guess, man, am I getting something else confused? I thought the Zapruder film was actually not released for a while. But let me see, unless the AI is wrong. Hold on, let me see.
That are asking questions. You get our military guys. You get our ballistic boys. You get the TikTok medium psychic ladies. You get everybody. All of us are here, okay? It's like a high school class. You got all different types of characters here, but we're running this, okay? We're running this. And we're not going to be nice to any substitute teachers that you try to throw in there and try to calm down. Nope, we're not doing that, okay? We're not calming down. We're pretty upset. We're going to stay upset. Anyways, I'm going to tell you guys also an update about Josh Hammer. He's an idiot. He really is an idiot. First and foremost, just funny. I should have pulled it up. He also brought up his book. He issued a statement about the retreat weekend. Josh Hammer's lives through all the time. And so he was releasing a statement about how wonderful the Hamptons retreat was and that him and Seth Dillon totally did not press Charlie on anything. And in this public statement, he mentioned his book again. He said, like, I came to the Hamptons because Charlie wanted me to bring signed copies of my book. I mean, wacky. And this man, it's always appropriate if you're Josh Hammer to promote your book, which is just amazing. Anyways, his response yesterday to our episode was to release text messages between him and Charlie following the call. Great. It lets us know that the call happened at the exact same time that we figured it would actually happen. In our timeline, it had to have been an evening call before he tweeted public execution in this 3-hour window. But these are the messages. We should read them. Charlie Kirk, thank you for your help, guys. The totally standard response that you say no matter what. Exclamation point. And then I assume this is Josh Hammer that replies and says, good luck at the campus visit start. Don't hesitate to let me know or any of us know how we can help. What's your first stop tomorrow, by the way? And I felt like that was weird because I feel like his whole story was that Charlie was reaching out to him because he wanted help to strengthen his debate. He needed tips on how to, because he just loved Israel so hard that he was like, give me the best talking points so I can go out there, I can defend the state. And I know that like a couple hours ago, I was really angry. I said, I'm done with the pro-Israel lobby, but now I just love you so much that I want to get on the phone with you and have you, who could not beat me in a debate, teach me how to debate. That's what he told us. So we're supposed to believe that he didn't know where Charlie was debating, but that was what the call was about. I don't know. I feel like you would maybe know, and that may have come up in a call where you were prepping for his debate tomorrow, where exactly it was that he was debating tomorrow. I don't know anything other than that Josh Hammer is an idiot who can't be trusted and lies through his teeth. I do want to get to, speaking on the topic of Israel, there was a very good video that came out. Actually, let's first talk about the Israel and Hamas peace deal that they're trying to shut down our throats. Now, if you're reading the headline, a peace agreement is what we're calling it, has been reached between Israel and Hamas. Oh my gosh, because they decided that there's going to be phases and Israel is going to partially withdraw its troops from Gaza and Hamas is going to release the remaining hostages. And this is, of course, after everything that happened on October 7th. Don't forget about October 7th. And yeah, like hundreds of thousands of Palestinians are missing. And yeah, they have destroyed 85% of Gaza. And they're going to try to tell us that we've reached peace. At the center of it was Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner. They arrived on Wednesday morning to represent the U.S. negotiators from Israel, and Hamas and the mediators from Qatar and Egypt and Turkey also participated. And we're supposed to go, wow, that's amazing. Trump put a statement out on Truth Social here. I'm very proud to announce that Israel and Hamas have both signed off on the first phase of our peace plan. This means that all the hostages will be released very soon. And Israel will withdraw their troops to an agreed upon line as the first steps towards a strong, durable, and everlasting peace that all parties will be treated fairly. I can't even finish it because it makes me sick that they think we're this dumb.
Oh my God, this tastes so good. You guys hit it out the park.
Well, thank you. It's because it's different. It's fermented. Here's the thing, because.
All right, so let's get over to the Erika Kirk deal. So I've been reading on the Zapruder film wiki page. Yeah, so this is that's why I got confused. Scott Starbird looked it up. I was so yeah, the Zapruder film was actually first broadcast to the public years later. Yeah. No, the still frames. So that's where I got confused. I saw something about publishing the still frames and I skipped to the next thing. I was jumping around in this. I didn't see that. So yeah, I found it later in this wiki article. It talked about the media companies bidding on the film and stuff. They released a few frames in black and white, and then eventually it was broadcast. But yeah, it was years later. Yeah, man, just think about that. What if this happened to Charlie Kirk and it wasn't until 12 years later that we had like 50 angles of this? That'd be nuts. But it also said, it said there were several other people that were on record had been filming or taking pictures down there. So in theory, guys, there's other angles of this. All right, let's get to Erika Kirk. So where did I have this saved? I think I got this on my Twitter. Let me go over to my Twitter. So here we have, I guess today, yeah, this is today, I think. I'll get you guys on this tab. This will be the last thing we'll get out of here. This is Erika Kirk accepting the, what is it? Medal of what? Accepts the Presidential Medal of Freedom on behalf of her husband. That's nice.
In a meaningful way, and thank you for making this event a priority. Thank you, Mr. President, for honoring my husband in such a profound and meaningful way, and thank you for making this event a priority amid the peace process in the Middle East. Thank you. Very grateful. Charlie always admired your commitment to freedom, and that's something that both of you shared. So thank you. Your support of our family and the work that Charlie devoted his life to will be something I cherish forever. So thank you. To our gracious First Lady in her office for making this event possible. Thank you as well. It's beautiful. To Vice President and the lovely Usha fans, your friendship has been an unbelievable encouragement. Thank you. And to all our friends and family that are here and watching from all around the world, thank you for loving us. Thank you for praying for us and for believing in what Charlie believed in. And to our Turning Point USA staff and the Charlie Kirk Show staff, we love you more than you could ever know. And to the Turning Point USA chapters that are watching all across America right now, you are the heartbeat of this future and of this movement. Everything that Charlie built, you guys are the legacy holders of that. You are living proof that his mission did not die with him. It lives through you. And Charlie always said the next generation will decide whether freedom endures. And because of you, I know that freedom will endure. It will. And today we're gathered not only to celebrate Charlie's birthday, but to honor a truth that he gave his entire life to defend, and that's freedom.
I want to believe she's wiping away real tears, but I just, I can't bring myself to believe it. Is that like, does that reflect bad on me?
The very existence of the Presidential Medal of Freedom reminds us that the national interest of the United States has always been freedom. Our founders etched it into the preamble of our Constitution, and those words are not relics on parchment. They are a living covenant. The blessings of liberty are not man's invention, they are God's endowment. Charlie lived for those blessings, not as abstract words, but as sacred promises. He used to love to journal about this topic all the time, and with such a heart postured of gratitude. And he believed that liberty was both a right and a responsibility. And he used to say, freedom is the ability to do what is right without fear. And that's how he lived. He was free from fear. He was free from compromise, free from anything that could enslave his soul. His name, Charles, literally means free man. And that's exactly who my husband was. He was a free man. And from the time I met him, sitting across from him, being interviewed on politics and philosophy and theology, anything that Charlie loved, any topic he loved, and I just saw the fire in his soul, and there was this divine restlessness within him that came from knowing God placed him on this earth to protect something very, very sacred for all of us. And he never stopped fighting for people to experience freedom. He didn't. Charlie often said that without God, freedom becomes chaos. And he believed liberty could only survive when anchored to truth. And I remember in one of his speeches, he told the audience that the opposite of liberty isn't law.
Look at Trump just scowling at the audience. A Dolan Duck. Like she believes herself. It sounds like my sister or my hold on. Sounds like my girlfriend's crazy pharmacist sister. Erika Kirk probably knows about pharmaceuticals. I don't know. Sure, she's got a good Xanax script. Oh, I ended up on the wrong tab.
He said it's captivity, and that the freest people in the world are those whose hearts belong to Christ. But what's so powerful is that Charlie had the ability to communicate so brilliantly across all generations. And he reminded us that in a world that tells us freedom is doing whatever you want to do, the real freedom is the power to live freely and to do what is right. And in one of his journal entries, he wrote that he wanted everyone to know that you can't have liberty without moral responsibility. Freedom divorced from faith eventually just destroys itself.
He once wrote in a journal, you can't have happiness without the state of Israel. And by that, I mean the current Israeli government, not what the Bible was talking about.
And what's so fascinating about all of this is looking back these past 12 years of Turning Point USA and his mission, there's almost this veil of sacredness. Because what I realized is that while he was building an organization, he was also building a movement, one that called people back to God, back to truth, and a movement that was filled with courage. And ironically, for a man who impacted millions, Charlie never desired to be the center of attention. He just wasn't. My husband was not a man of extravagance. He loved simple but deeply meaningful things. Truly. He loved his late night walks. He loved buying more books than he could ever read because he felt there was no such thing as a book budget. And he loved being able to read to our kids the same bedtime story on repeat because he knew it was their favorite. And to him, that was special. And he loved to sit in the sun on a Saturday morning with his cup of decaf coffee, and his phone was off because he was honoring the Sabbath. And for him, it was that moment to catch his breath and just be in peace because he was unreachable at the moment. And he preferred quiet birthdays. But that never stopped me from telling him. I told him every single year, I said, baby, I love your birthday. I said, because it's the day that God knew the world couldn't go another day without you. And so the rhythm of our usual birthday celebration for him was mint ice cream, mint chocolate chip ice cream. He only had it twice a year, on his birthday and 4th of July. And then after that, it was back to work as usual. But last year, his one birthday wish was to see the Oregon Ducks play the Ohio State. And they won. Oregon won that night. And it was by far one of the most memorable nights of his birthday experience of his life until today. And so, honestly, President Trump, I have spent 7.5 years trying to find the perfect birthday gift for Charlie. And it's so difficult. And those of you that have spouses or loved ones, you know how difficult it is sometimes to buy a gift for someone that you love, because he wasn't a materialistic man, so that also did not help. But now I can say with confidence, Mr. President, that you have given him the best birthday gift he could ever have. It's such an honor and the recognition of a life lived for defending freedom. And that's what Charlie fought for until his last breath.
Can we get the cameraman to zoom in so I can see how many tears there are? I want to actually see the tears, or I don't believe they're tears. Hold on. We're going to, you know what? We don't pull out these banners often enough. We've got a tear counter. There we go. There. So far we're at 0. I see a lot of wiping, not a lot of moisture though. Just kind of dry wiping the face. And you know it's not wet either because she's pressing the same part of this tissue that she's pressing under her eyes, which would in theory get wet and the eyeshadow would come off onto the napkin and stuff. And then she's pressing that same part that should be stained on the napkin and touching above her lip. And in theory, if all of that is all wet, you should be transferring the dark eyeshadow. She should have a Hitler mustache because she's wiping under her nose, but we don't see that. Debunked.
And it was written across his chest in those final moments on one of his simple t-shirts that always carried a message, and this one bearing a single word, freedom. That was the banner over his life, and that shirt was a declaration.
No, Scott Starbird said, great point. No, it's not. That was a joke. No, actually, that's not a bad point. Actually, I was I was making it as a joke, but also as a real point.
The same declaration he made in every speech, every campus visit, every time he shared the gospel at a church, every sleepless night that he would spend praying for the youth of this nation and planning for the future of our country, and just impressing upon them that when we defend liberty, we defend the soul of our nation. My husband never told anyone what to say. He never did. He never told anyone what to say. He would just encourage them to think. He would encourage them to think outside of the traditional political labels. He would want them to think in a way that was anchored in wisdom and truth. But he would never tell anyone what to say. Charlie wasn't content to simply admire freedom. He wanted to multiply it. He wanted to multiply freedom. He wanted young people to taste it and to understand it and defend it. He wanted them to see that liberty isn't self-indulgence, it's self-governance under God. He wanted them to see that. And every day I'd see him getting ready for work. He'd put on his cross necklace, he'd put his ring on his finger. And the boldness in his demeanor was always fearlessness. He wasn't afraid. He was never afraid. In his daily actions, whether in office or on campus or at a church, it was always without fear. That was his creed. That is how he lived out every single day. He didn't fear being slandered. He did not. He didn't fear losing friends, I can tell you that. He didn't care. He stood for truth and stood for freedom, and he did not.
He feared losing those donors, though. We saw the text messages. Don't play with me.
Everything else was just a noise to him. And it's because his confidence in Christ was absolute. That's why. There was no limit to what he would have sacrificed to defend freedom for all. And if the moment had come, he probably would have run for president, but not out of ambition. He would only have done it if that was something that he believed that his country needed from a servant's heart standpoint. And Charlie lived only 31 short years. I was 32, but on this side of heaven. But he lived. He lived every single second he lived. He filled every single day with purpose, and he fought for truth when it was unpopular. And he stood for God when it was costly, but that's what we're called to do. Surprisingly enough, he did pray for his enemies, which is very hard, but he did. He did. He did. No one else, I saw him do it. No, he never did it in front of anyone else, but I can attest to that. But he also loved people when it was inconvenient. And he ran his race with endurance, and he kept the faith. And now he wears the crown of a righteous martyr.
I feel like she's just touching the tissue like it's a nervous tick now. She just keeps touching the same eye. And I feel like this is one of those things, and you guys know we watch them here on the stream together. But one thing I do watch, fairly often is like interrogation videos. I do like watching those sometimes. Like if I'm just sitting down to eat dinner and I'm going to like sit there, I have time to just like spend 15, 20 minutes and just eat my food and watch something the whole time. I can just like watch and stuff my face. And I've watched those a few times with different, whether it's shooters or whatever the fuck. And this just like, they talk about different aspects of body language and stuff. And again, body language isn't really enough to convict somebody of something, but it just like gives you hints sometimes. And it often does seem to help to be able to catch on to some of it when it comes to some of these interrogations and stuff like that. But one thing with the her going to this eye, I feel like this is like, it's almost a tick. And part of the reason she's not doing this eye, like when, the hand, she has the tissue wiping the eye that's closest. I feel like this is a thing that sort of, again, if we're going with the theory that she's being deceptive here, which I'm sorry if it makes me a shitty person. I kind of lean towards feeling like she's being deceptive. I don't know. This whole time she just, I don't know what's happening, but it doesn't seem like just plain genuine sorrow and shock from your husband that you in theory were completely in love with being murdered in broad daylight in front of thousands of kids and the 8 billion people on the planet through their smartphones. Again, I don't know what she's going through, but it's something. But it's weird. And I feel like this might be sort of like a small thing, like a tick, where she's trying to look. That was a real sniffle. I had snot. She's trying to, like, appear. Truth is said she's or was that Truth? Yeah, she's an actress. Yeah, no, she's an actress. This feels though like she's dealing with a crowd of people looking at her and whatever, and I feel like she's like sort of hiding. She's able to like hide her face a little bit, and there's varying ways like people do this when they're being like interrogated and stuff. Well, they'll just like touch their face or something to sort of like distract from whatever, because they're being deceptive. They want to like pick at their face, or, oh, I got an itch here. And you can kind of, it's sort of mentally, you're giving yourself sort of like, you're trying to block people from the truth in your head. And so physically that manifests as behavior outside, whether you're covering up your arms or like there's various ways that people read body language like that. God damn it, my fur fell. I've been rolling over it. But yeah, I don't know. That's kind of what this looks like to me. Anyway, I'm over it. We get it.
With this incredible Presidential Medal of Freedom on his birthday, I stand here with tears and just a humbled heart and spirit, because his story reminds us all that to live free is the greatest gift, but to die free is the greatest victory. Happy birthday, my Charlie. Happy Freedom Day. God bless you.
All right. Well, I said it as a joke, and I truly did not mean for this to happen. Here we are. It's almost 11 o'clock. I got to get the fuck out of here. I got to get the fuck out of here. Yeah, OOG7. I don't know what happened to OOG7. He has like demons inside of him. He's just been absolutely going off. Did Holyoke Joe get access to your account or something? OOG7's talking shit in the chat. Bro, I don't know why do you have to start shit with other people in my chat? I don't know why you're mad at me now. You're directing your anger towards me, saying I suck. But you're in here like every night. I don't, whatever, dude. This is the reason I blocked Holyoke Joe, is because he just fights with people in my chat and runs people off. So then I end up with Holyoke Joe in my chat and 5 less other people. You see how that hurts me? Does that math make sense? OOG7 used to be happy-go-lucky. I don't know what he was, but he wasn't the way he is in the chat tonight. I don't know. He's just been nonstop fighting with this Diego person who has like 5 accounts. In fact, OOG7 might actually be every single one of these accounts. He's running the Diego accounts. And yes, we're all anon. Well, that's fine. That's a page right out of Holyoke Joe's book. All right, get rid of this banner. We saw no tears. All right, guys, I'll see you guys tomorrow. What are we getting into tomorrow, guys? I have I got a few things planned for this week. But yeah, guys, it'll be cool. Oh, you guys don't even know. I had a stressful ass day. I got off of work. My boss was out of town. That's always stressful for me because, anyway, he was out of town. And it's a lot of, extra responsibility on me that I don't necessarily want. But then also when I left my job, my fucking car wouldn't start. Luckily, and I think I fucked up with this before and just went and replaced the battery, but the battery I have on there is like not that old. It's like a little over a year. When my car wouldn't start, I was just like, oh, that's not good, because I got a battery not that long ago. That means it's something else, man. That's not good. And anyway, fucking I got my roommate to pick me up, and I stopped at my house, called AAA and all that shit, and met them back in my car. And it actually turned out to be the fucking corrosion. It was like dust, it wasn't like, I don't know. I don't even know how it comes up like that. If it's supposed to be battery acid coming out or what, but there was like corrosion around my battery connection, the actual connection, and it was enough to like short it. So like my lights would come on in my car, but my car would not start. It just would not do anything. The lights would come on. There was no noise or anything. I was just like, what the fuck's going on? But yeah, this guy took the connections off and cleaned it all up, put it back together, and I didn't have to buy another, several $100 battery or whatever they're going for now. So yeah, guys, that's a lesson to you. Keep that in mind. If your car doesn't start and your battery, it just wouldn't make sense that it would be dead, and you got some of that dusty corrosion shit on your terminal connection deals, just fucking clean them bitches off and slap those connectors back on there. Good to go. Give the starter a smack with a hammer too. Take your wrench and just jab the starter. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I'm glad I didn't have to spend a shitload of money on a battery. That actually made me happy. I tipped the AAA guy too. Oh yeah. He won't forget those $6. He's going to get something real nice with that. All right, lovers. I'll see you guys tomorrow night. What do we got tomorrow? What's tomorrow? Wednesday? Jesus, it's only Tuesday. Whew. I can't wait for Halloween, guys. I ordered all my stuff. I ordered all my Hogan stuff. It's on the way. Every single thing that I need, I ordered. I found there was some stuff on Amazon and whatever. I got what I need for it, I think. It should look funny. I got the Fu Manchu deal. I got some wristbands. I got some Hogan pants. I actually bought some yellow boots. Not like really what he had, but I got some kind of yellow boots. It's gonna be fun. And I got some wounds, some fake wounds too. So yeah, guys, I'm gonna get fucked up on Halloween. Damn it! I wish I could go to what? We're not doing a Halloween party. No. No, it's funny. I'm going to. That's the thing. I could maybe have some people on the Saturday before. But guys, I got too much going on. My mom's not doing well. I'm just, and I'm committed to doing the stream. I've been really busy with it. And I got a lot going on in life. And I'm going to skip the party this year, I think. I mean, there's a chance I could have like a couple people over to like hang on Saturday. But I'm not doing like a whole party and like the whole deal. No, if I have some people over Saturday and we'll watch some horror movies and eat like bullshit, then that might be a possibility. But besides that, yeah, Halloween, I'm going trick-or-treating with my friends. I got a bunch of friends that got kids. We're going to this neighborhood where the adults pass out a candy to the children, but they give out adult drinks to the adults. And we just basically, like, past couple of years has been really nice, really good time. And it's been on work nights. All hell's going to break loose this Halloween because it's a fucking Friday. So I'm going to be drinking till like probably 2-3 in the morning. Who knows? Something stupid like that. So yeah, I'm excited. All right, lovers. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Scott Starboard at 6 p.m. Eastern. then Alex Stein at 7. Alex had a great show tonight. But yeah, Stein, it will be on prime time with Alex Stein, that channel. Then also you need to subscribe to the Alex Stein channel. Like he has his own like channel, just Alex Stein, I think. Is the one I know he has that. I think that's the one he wants to get people to go over to, because his Blaze contract is going to be up soon, which means that channel, he's not going to be streaming on that channel anymore. He's going to do a different show on that other Alex Stein channel, I believe. So yeah, guys, keep up with Alex Stein. We got new, cool, interesting stuff on the horizon for the pimp on the blimp, Alex Stein himself. So I'm excited to see that. So everybody follow Alex Stein, Scott Starbird, stay in the loop. Lots of cool things coming in the future. I will see you guys tomorrow night. Everybody take it easy. I love you. Thank you guys for the support. If you're new, please subscribe. And for real, don't be afraid to get up in the chat. Even if you like really disagree with me, we really want to have, an atmosphere of open conversation in here and stuff like that, because I feel like that really does help. No matter your political affiliation or whatever, get up in the chat wherever you're at. All right, lovers. Mwah.